Roll our bones over.
Bones have been rolled.
So are we in some sort of bone zone, perhaps?
Not currently. Right now I am...
Zone of bones?
No, I am in a zone of... What do they call this? Overgrown ruins.
Man, you fast.
Yeah, I have to be, because these fuckers... There we go. I got a new...
Hello, everybody. Welcome to What's Up.
Yokuzo.
Lucky has reached adrenaline level 2.
It's very important.
Well, before we get started on what you're seeing right now with your eyes, I'd like to remind everybody this episode is brought to you by patrons like Adam the Harp Architect, Tang, Buster G, Carlos, Dragon Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Just the Fage, John the Sandoval, Legendary Boss, Hunter, Liam Kessler, Reggie Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Trevor, Sean Pryor, Some Gunny Bob, Sergeant Empty, and Ryan the Crow. If you like what we do and want to see more, consider supporting us on Patreon.
Yay!
Thank you for your support. Phone buttons. I will continue to farm QP while we do show.
Probably.
You know,
Ah!
Only got a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I need a lot.
Yes. I am too broke for that shit. Moving on.
Sure, I'm synchronized to live chat.
Good at me, dog. Oh, not that dog.
It's a very glowy dog.
Well, just wait till it stops glowing. It's basically forming a mid-boss here at the moment. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Yep, area's in lockdown. Here we go. I hate this.
Alrighty, so we've bandied around long enough. Lucky, what's going on right now? What are you doing right now?
Right now, I am playing Returnal. As I have mentioned before, I have upgraded my PlayStation Plus up to Premium, and it comes with a bunch of free games, Returnal being one of them. Returnal came out last year, 2021, and was well regarded, I would say. I'm not going to say everyone liked it and it had its own issues, but for what it was
for a, you know, a 3D action roguelike kind of game, you know.
Woo!
I don't know. I haven't actually, you know, put my hands on it, so I don't know if I would truly call it a Souls-like per se.
It's ow. It's kind of Souls-like. Please don't.
Like a lot of the trailers and stuff that showed gameplay made it look like what you have also described it as, which is basically a 3D bullet hell.
I died.
You were dead.
Yeah. It wasn't the dog. It was a gorilla. I can beat the dogs. I still have troubles with gorillas. They have this very
standing like that.
They have a very, very annoying attack where it's not a teleport, but they move very, very fast at you. And if you're not like on the ball with a dodge, you will just get smacked, and like two hits will kill you. So it's a pain in the dick.
Wasn't a giant ape also your breakpoint in Sekiro?
Yes.
Well, funnily enough.
Well, I can actually beat those apes but the problem is the fuck? Whomst? Who are you? What are you doing here?
I just got out of my ship for the Xth time.
How you doing?
He's kind of minding his own business.
Yeah, he is. Oh, okay. If he's just minding his own business, I ain't gonna fuck with him.
I mean, you came in direct physical contact, so.
I don't like the shotgun.
But yeah, so this did come out last year. It was pretty well received. The main thing was just that people were like, hey, it's kind of a shame that you can't, like, quote-unquote pause your run. You know, if you're in it, the only thing you can do is find a checkpoint or die, which, you know, is awkward if you, you know, are gonna lose power or you have to go suddenly or something. And they did fix that. You can suspend your run now. I think that was a patch later last year. They also did add a co-op mode.
Yep.
But so, you have been playing.
I've been playing. I picked it up because I want to embrace the full power that is PlayStation Plus Premium. And been trying several games. I thought I made a mistake. I thought they had both Lords of Shadow games. Nay, they had Lord of Shadow Mirror of Fate, which is not actually the first game. It's like a sequel thing. I'm not entirely sure actually. But it wasn't the game, so I was like, all right. because I am still playing Ape Escape, but I play that more for collection purposes. Like, oh, I'm gonna go in this place, I'm gonna go catch a few monkeys. I'm like, ha 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 ha. I also picked up Jack Combat Racing because I wanted to play that game, but I was also remember I don't know if I was better at that game as a kid, or like I just didn't necessarily care as much. But that game's a lot harder than I thought it was, or I remember.
I remember it being decently hard, but it's probably just you had more time on your hands.
Maybe.
Like, a lot of games were like that you could grind out. I remember, I've talked about this at length before, that was my kind of breakpoint with Rechain of Memories when I did, you know, the Kingdom Hearts story so far. I tried to beat Rechain of Memories as well, and I was just like, God, this game's really friggin' hard, just because the way the 3D remake is formatted, and I just don't have the time anymore as an adult to, like, spend time getting good, grinding out this game and beating bosses when I want to be, like, advancing more Kingdom Hearts story, playing games I've never played before, period,
tentacles!
in the lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3. So, like, yeah, I totally understand. You can definitely just be that it was
Alright, where's that damn switch?
not necessarily easier when you were a kid, but you had more time to focus on it.
Mayhaps. But, so, I was switching to that, Dark Cloud 2, and oh, it's a parasite. What is this one? Nay. This is a parasite. You can equip it. It gives you a positive and a benefit. Fabrication is basically what you spend your unobtainium on. And proficiency rate is what lets you get better weapons. So, no, I like having good weapons. They let me not die.
Yeah.
Because for all its 3D PS5 graphical goodness, this is a roguelike. You have, like, I don't want to say like this is a Soulsborne, because even in Dark Souls and such games, you still have a sense of progression. You can get strong if you die. Even when you die, you can still get, you know, armor, weapons, and stuff. You level up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you can get your stuff back, and you keep your equipment.
Yeah, no.
This is true Reset Town.
Yes. You basically, the only permanent upgrades you get are very it's basically exploration based. Like this one gives you an alt, like I've only gotten 3. I got like an alt mode for my weapons, lets me access a transporter, and an additional consumable slot. Everything else is temporary. And in most cases, I'm not a fan of roguelikes. I'm really not. I really hate these. I really hate losing my sense of progression. I really, really do. But I do want to say, like, I think this game has enough of a solid gameplay core mechanic that even though it's a roguelike, it's not necessarily what's the word I want to use?
It doesn't feel frustrating to play?
Yeah. Like there are definitely like especially like in this first area, like I feel like there is enough, you know, upgrades available that that you do not have will necessarily feel overwhelmed. Because let's see here, I've only beaten one boss. I've only gotten to the second area. Technically, this is the first area, but before I go to the second area, I try to clear the first area so I can get all my proficiency and unlocks I can. So when I go to the second area, I'm not as fucked because I've not been finding many upgrades in the second area, and it concerns me. Like, the second area is right through there. Like, I'm gonna walk up to this thing, and it's gonna be all like, "Hello, I am a portal. Behold me activation." Oh. But I'm not about. Yep. So, but I'm not about that life right now. Right now, I'm trying to find me some better guns, get me a couple artifacts. Artifacts are the temporary upgrade that can do anything from upgrade your attack, upgrade your protection, to, you know, give you sick little effects, like, you know, gain health on hits, you know, get shields, all that crazy stuff. You die. And I like this game has a couple mechanics that I find pretty neat. Like I said, your guns don't have ammo per se. They have recharge. But if you run out, you'll get a mechanic where if you can hit hit the button at the right time, you'll get a small power up. Like, I always thought that was a neat mechanic.
Yeah, there's a couple of different game franchises that do something like that.
And another one I actually find pretty neat is the adrenaline mechanic. The adrenaline mechanic is basically the more enemies you kill without getting hit, the more bonuses you get. And there are several artifacts that play off of that. For example, there is one where basically you will heal 2 times your adrenaline level in health for every hit. It's very nice, but the problem with it is if you're not getting hit, you don't have any damage. But you know, if you do get hit, it helps get you that cover. Oh yeah, these guys aren't hostile. Oh well. Ooh, do I want to do this one? I still have a shitty pistol now. And so, like, something that I actually really like about this is I enjoy games that use the PS5's haptic controller.
Yeah.
Basically, so me doing this right now, I'm actually only half depressing the... Which one is this? The L2 trigger. And there's a little bit of resistance, so I don't hit it. But when I actually push down on it, it switches to my alt-fire mode.
Interesting.
So, I feel like using the haptic trigger has actually given me another button to press without actually having to give me another button to press, and I think that's really neat. So I can be so I can be free falling. I can have to press and do that, and then I can get in and do that. See, I can do my own little bullet hell here. Fuck you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed some projectile things come out of you when you shoot.
Yeah, that's just basically, that's your adrenaline bullets. Basically, the more adrenaline you have, the more of these little homing bullets come out. They're very nice. Sword. Got a little melee sword. It's very... I broke that. My bad. No, so... The game is definitely alright. It is hard and slightly frustrating, but not to the point that I just want to throw the controller and be like, fuck this game, fuck you, and fuck that person over there too, fuck that astronaut. You know, so it's enough of a challenge that I don't feel... Oh, see.
It's engaging, it's challenging, but it's not so much that when you bum a run, you're like, fuck you, I'm done.
No.
At least not all the time.
Not all the time. There are definitely some times, like, I will say, I don't like bosses. Bosses literally have 3 health bars, and I fucking already, you do, no damage to them, so you just spend a very long time dodging a fuck ton amount of attacks. And again, I mentioned, your adrenaline is best when you don't get hit, but when you have to go through 3 health bars, you don't remain unhit forever.
Yeah,
so,
going perfect is harder.
And, see, that's the thing that I realized that I don't like about roguelikes. Let's see here. No, I like having my melee, and I like having my melee and my dash go. It's like, in order to, and that's the thing that I've realized that I don't like about roguelikes. In order to beat a roguelike, you have to have a perfect run. You have to. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's dumb. I hate that.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I feel like there are some that massage that. My similar experience, I don't usually like roguelikes and stuff. Though, I will say, it's not quite the same. But, hey, I've actually done successful runs on Hades several times.
I am not.
Well, for some of them, I did the, what do they call it? I don't think it is actually God mode, but there's a modifier that, the more you lose, the less damage you take. So, you can, the game, and I don't believe this was available at launch, but, when I got the Switch version, it was available. The game has a built-in progression through suckage meter, where the game kind of naturally drops down to your level, I guess. If you keep losing, you keep getting damage resistance. But I would also say it's not perfect because you can actually, upgrade certain items. Like, your weapons stay consistent throughout Hades, so it's not quite the same thing. But you do get to pick up different boons, and you do probably want some really good boons. I think I've only completed runs when I've gotten certain aligners. But, yeah, it depends on the exact game. And I do understand that frustration. And I think different roguelikes have different methods for compensating for that, right?
All right.
But it is true that usually it requires you to have, if not a perfect run, at least find a run that suits you
Ooh, I like this
as a
kind of
player.
Yeah.
And depending on how the game is designed, right, that can be difficult, all based on like what, you know, the different things that you get that are procedurally generated, randomized, right? So that'd be, in this case, the artifacts you can find in weapons? Question mark? Okay.
God, there's something else I think I hate about this. I can't remember the tank. It's called like obulettes or something. But they're what's dropping when it dropped when you defeat enemies. They only last for like 2 seconds. So if you're not there immediately to pick them up, they just fucking vanish. And there's
That's
a
little annoying considering this is a game with guns.
Yeah. I like to kill... Well, like I said, the melee attack is actually very strong, and you can get it stronger. But, again, that means you have to get up in someone's grill. And when, Well, I don't... Ooh.
I would say it seems like it's probably powerful because it is not something you want to be doing normally.
Yes.
You know, with a game that involves a lot of projectiles, you don't really want to be up in somebody's grill.
Fuck it. I'll take him out. Fucking get it.
But...
God damn it.
I love some of the terminology. Highly malignant container.
I was saying this earlier. This game is just a fucking exo world eclipse phase story. Like there is weird shit TM happening all over this place. I don't actually know what's happening because everything is being given to me and weird flashbacks, moments of insanity, weird hallucinations. You know, the usual. Fuck you! Don't touch me! Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. There we go. Got him. And, like, during the, like, I want to say, like, during, like, main combat and stuff, things are pretty good. As long as you don't, like, pay attention and don't get yourself, like, surrounded. You can deal with most enemies pretty easily. And most enemies won't just, you know, standard enemies, I say, just won't see how quickly those fucking disappeared. Ah! Most enemies just won't, like, immediately two-shot you. It takes them very many hits to actually take you down. And health items are in abundance. Like, usually you'll find, like, 1 or 2 in every area that you travel through. So, like, keeping your health out. It's usually when you run into... most of your deaths are going to become when you run into mid-bosses, like Big Gorilla, who likes to, you know, instant transmission into your face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, that does remind me of Hades. Like, once you understand the basic mechanics of Hades, unless you're doing, like, a weird challenge room or something that gets randomly generated, normal enemies aren't really a problem. You have your own ways to recover health and stuff. It's... You need to build up your items and your loot and your boons and whatever so that when you get to the boss of the floor, you're like, okay, I'm ready for you, because that's where the bullshit happens.
Yes. Like, oops. Ah, god damn it. Like these guys, these fucking tree ant motherfuckers. They do, like, homing attacks and like to teleport around, but if I can boop them once with my fucking sword, you know, they'll... Shit! They'll go down, but the problem is we have these little flyers around who will whoop go down again. Who will just, you know, swarm your ass and get in the way, which is the problem. And I lost my adrenaline bonus because of that. But as you can tell, I didn't actually lose that much health from those couple there.
Yeah.
Let me pick up this ether though.
I understand why this game is next gen, though. They're really committed to the fucking particle effects and the laser beams and shit.
Oh, yeah, no, it's pretty. They can get a little annoying, especially the ones that do homing, because unless you figure out exactly how long it's last, you can get behind some cover, and then, you can get behind some cover, and, you know, you'll take a peek out, and all of a sudden you got, like 800 fucking, laser beams, like, centering on you, and you're just like, shit.
By the way, answering the question in chat, if you don't see the game label under the STRAM, this is Returnal for the PS5.
PS5. Free.
I assume it'll possibly be coming out on PC sometime, if it's not already.
I don't see why they wouldn't put it on PC.
So, Sony seems fairly committed to console exclusivity only. You know, they'll put it on PC eventually.
Well, I want to call it I'm call it timed exclusivity.
Well, I say console exclusivity because a lot of these games, I think for technical reasons, won't be coming to the Switch, but also obviously will not be available standalone on the Xbox. You got to do the pipe Windows through your Xbox thing.
Yeah, here it is. Adrenaline leech repairs integrity 2% of damage dealt per adrenaline level. I'm gonna buy that.
Seems nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, hold on. The Audacity's lagging a little. Let me stop and reset the audio recording really quick.
Oh no,
he's shopping.
I'm using nano machines, son.
Nano machines.
Boomst! Da! I will shoot you from way back over here. Fuck you, you scary. There we go. Problem solved. Not solved! Not solved! Okay, now solved.
Sector not clear. Alright, audio's back, by the way.
All right,
As
cool.
usual, Audacity is like, we lost audio! We didn't lose any audio. It's fine. Just a little laggy. It happens sometimes.
Boomst! That's you.
But alright. Yeah, this is definitely, especially with the possibility of actually getting credit for it. You're definitely talking about, like, Returnal and stuff. And, again, I know this has a co-op mode. Got me interested in doing my own upgrade. Probably not too extra for all the retro games, because they don't have the retro games I really, really want yet. That would be if they announced some Metal Gear Solid shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm like, I'm there.
Lasers!
But I already have the PS4 versions of all the Jack games and stuff,
Ah!
so...
Gotcha.
That, or if they decided to resuscitate Sly Cooper. Actually, no. I think there's 3 game franchises that would get me on board for the extra if they had the original versions, even streaming, right?
Right.
Though I admit, they do have one game that I'm very happy about, which would be...
Shit.
You have to... you need the extra for Fallout New Vegas, but I'm still not sure about the extra price myself yet with my budgeting. But 3 franchises that would 100% get me on board is... Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid 4, obviously, that's only on PS3s. And also there are other editions. Sly Cooper, always been a big fan of that, and the trilogy and 4 were on the PS3, so that would probably be in their extra, super extra premium tier. And then lastly, Killzone. Guys, Sony, you own that franchise. And I know that in regular PS Plus Premium or whatever, you can get Killzone Shadowfall. But that's the sucky one. Where the fuck are my good Killzones? Where are they? Give them to me. Also, Guerrilla, you've made 2 wonderfully beautiful games with Horizon. Have you considered Killzone 5 on the PS5? Nobody's doing really great first-person shooters right now. That I know of, anyway. Not AAA titles. Maybe Modern Warfare 2 will be good. But anyway. You could do it. You could corner the market. I guess mechanically Halo Infinite is okay, but I keep hearing people have objections about the campaign and stuff, so the multiplayer's fine, but you gotta market here. Killzone 5 on the PS5. But those would be a big appeal to me. But definitely, like I said, I'm thinking of the upgrade to the middle tier with all the extra free games. Because as we've discussed, it pays for itself really easily. You download like 2 games and you've done the equivalent of spending the money you would have spent, right?
Oh yeah, no, this is still listed at $69.99 on the PlayStation Store, and I'm just like, nope, free, give.
I think even buying it physically on Amazon is still like $40 or $50. Like, it's discounted a little bit because it's physical, but it's not that discounted, right?
Right. Whomst?
So yeah. I think you said you've tried to play like what 4 or 5 games already?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it seems very economical. The main thing is just figuring out what you want to play, but, there's a few out there.
And there's a lot of games that I look like that I do want to try, like Death Request. I've been looking at playing. And there's just a bunch of, like, other ones on there that I'm interested in. Oh, shit. Suck.
Yeah, it's a pretty big catalog. And according to the rumor mill, it will be growing.
I'm excited for that. I'm hoping there's going to be, like, a couple more games that I never got the chance to play.
Yeah, so,
shit.
We have some vibes, some waves, possible reliable leaks. There will be expansions this month. Obviously, we know Stray will be coming. Stray will be day and date.
Whomst.
But there are rumors from a a possible leaker who has accurately shared some details before. Apparently, they called the Death Stranding director's cut ahead of time, and also something I want to at least touch on later. They were correct about Skull and Bones revival yesterday. Really? So it's possible this information is good. The general vibe seems to be that they will probably be announced a little ahead of time, and they will drop on the release date of Stray, the 19th of July. And allegedly, the things they've listed is only a slice of it, but it includes Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and episode Intermission.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Remake and the DLC will be added to the service. Kind of makes sense. They've already put it out on like Steam and stuff, so they've gotten their out there zone. Quite a few Assassin's Creed games for Black Flag, Unity, Freedom Cry, and the Ezio collection. So big Ubisoft drop. And Saints Row 4 re-elected, so this is the Saints Row 4 remaster. And I think that's the Game of the Year bundle as well.
Big dog!
And shit.
Ah!
So, like...
Damn it!
And again, that's only a pinch, but that is also pretty interesting.
Damn it!
Obviously, you know, they're leaning on the Ubisoft titles, but still, that's a pretty decent blob.
Oh, thank God.
Assassin's Creed's a series that I've never actually played, but have been interested in maybe picking up some of the ones that people like. Like, a lot of people swear by the Ezio collection and Black Flag and stuff, so that's kind of interesting. And, like I said, with the fact that you can get credit for membership, I'm already planning, I'm gonna buy the cat game, guys. So, I'm just debating, do I want to cut out the middleman and just upgrade to PS Plus Extra and just get the cat game for no additional cost and then get other games? I'll probably wait until they're a little more clear about what the drop is, if that's actually true. But yeah, it's interesting things. I think the service is doing some juice.
No, I think it's going well.
See what they do.
Like I know they'll be adding some of the new games, like some of probably of their indies and whatnot, and probably some of their first parties, you know, later down the line.
Gosh, they've got a lot of indies to pick from.
Yeah, but what I'm concerned is actually them expanding their classic collection the most.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the weird one. I know
shit.
A couple of games have technically been removed already.
Really? I haven't paid attention.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd noticed. I think it was one of the Shadow Warrior games, and then one other thing.
Yeah,
it was like 2 titles in their giant catalog, but still, they've had like a couple things drop off. I myself, like we said, there's a couple of retro PlayStation franchises they don't have on there that I am curious about. Like, are they holding out for like a remaster bundle or a big new release, or are they gonna do the retro?
Like, because there's a bunch of PlayStation games that, like, because as much as I played video games, I didn't have a lot of consoles growing. Well, I had a lot of consoles, but I didn't have everything, and I didn't own a PlayStation. I never owned a PlayStation originally. I first had a PS2, and I tried backporting games, but even then, sometimes finding like certain games were a trip.
Yeah, I played a handful of old school PlayStation games on my PS2. I think it was just Final Fantasy VII and the original Metal Gear Solid, the main ones.
Yeah, but what PlayStation used to do is they used to have a fuck ton of demo discs, and just so many fucking demos, and there were so many games. What is this? Yeah, let's try. I can do this. Yeah, I'll just slap a parasite on my body. This will be perfectly fine. And there's a bunch of games that I want to actually, you know, one day complete, like the original Tomba. Melee kills reduces the use of Slithium? What is even I don't even know what Slithium is, so fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna get rid of you.
I don't even know what this is.
Let's see here. Oh, wait, Slithium was the health one. Great, I just inhibited my own healing. Good job, May.
Well, what did you get for it?
What did I get for it? Let me check here. Melee kills repair integrity. Interesting. I guess that makes sense because Slithium repairs integrity, so now instead of me healing, I just have to literally sword things to death.
Okay, so you got reduced healing from items, but you will heal by punching people.
Yes.
Seems like an interesting trade-off. I always like those little kind of weird perks you can get in these kinds of games.
Oh yeah, like Upgrades or artifacts are just pure passive. Parasites give you a positive and a negative, and they wiggle around your body as they have latched to you, as you can see.
Yeah, this game isn't freaky deaky at all.
Nope.
Don't go watch that OSP video about space horror.
Now this is pretty some. I don't know. Ooh, what's this?
I mean, I would say I don't know if horror is the correct word, but like,
yes,
this is very freaky deakies. Fire up the fabricator.
Yeah, this increases my when I do a melee kill, it increases my protection and.
Okay, so you're just turning it into a melee run.
Yeah, this is now melee run. I need to find the fucking balance breaker though. That's what I need. But there's a couple series that I want. Like I was talking about Tomba, a very interesting 2D game that I own the physical copy, but like I said, I have not yet repaired my PS3, so I can't actually play it yet. And again, and if they just come out with it digitally, I'll be happy with that. Like again, like I have the game because I wanted to collect it physically and be like, yes, this is no. Yes, this is mine now. I have it. But if they come up with a digital representation of it, I'm gonna be cool. But I'm also noticing, I think some of the problem with their classic collection is that it's only the classics that they had available on the PlayStation Store, and that was maybe released for the PS4, which wasn't actually ever that huge. There's like a lot of games that never made it.
Yeah, there was. I assume part of it was because they had to format it to work with the PS3 originally.
Yeah.
But there was kind of a weird crossover. I do remember when I upgraded to my PS4, there were PS like 1 and 2 classics I had downloaded that I didn't have access to anymore. I actually had, I think I rebought P3 Fez and P4 digitally on my PS3. Because you could do that with certain PS2 games. Even if when I broke my one that had built-in PS2 emulation, you could still acquire some that would work digitally, right?
Right.
Now, obviously, we know that like Atlas is doing a big push for like PlayStation like re-releases and other re-releases of Persona games everywhere, but it's not quite the same. So yeah, I assume they want to be working on that kind of thing because that is something that like Xbox's backwards compatibility library is like very extensive. They put a lot of effort into it. I assume Sony, maybe not one-to-one, but probably wants to be competitive in that market.
Yeah. But
I remember during our previous, to tell a little anecdote, I remember during our previous Fail Portrayal stream we did, we brought up some of the old, jank, weird Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games.
Yeah.
Because emulating the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rule set used to be very hard on, like, PS2 and Game Boy Advance cartridges. So I think Dallas brought up Duelist of the Roses, a classic, weird game. You play the War of the Roses, but as Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters. With like really weird rules. But apparently you can get that like digital backwards compatible on Xbox, Xbox One at least. You can like emulate the original disc on Xbox, I think, or something. And I think that's the only place you can play it because it was a PS2 game that was weird. So it's definitely one of those things where like I know that Xbox was very committed to backwards compatibility, and obviously Sony, for tech reasons, couldn't do that with the PS3. And I'm going to guess it was probably too much of a pain in the ass to build an architecture into the PS5 to, like, emulate PS3 natively. That's why we're still streaming. It's annoying, but, you know, they did weird things. But obviously with the PS5 to PS4 jump, it's, you know, perfect.
Whoa!
You just put a PS4 game in, and it goes. And if it has a PS5-like version for extra textures or speed or frames or whatever, it'll be like, hello, would you like to do the PS5 version instead? And I am like, yes, thumbs up. But yeah, there's definitely something to be said for some of the backwards compats which could get out there.
Yeah, but
what were these? Was this once like PS Essentials games? It was Crash Bandicoot and two other things that I don't remember.
oh, I'm actually trying to remember. I didn't care for any of them. I was never much of a Crash fan, if I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I'm debating downloading Crash just for the sake of downloading it, but let's see. Yeah, it was Crash 4. It was Dark Pictures Man of Medan.
Ah, that's why.
I still haven't played the whatchamacallit. Their good game that was good. And then Arcade-ageddon, which I've literally never heard of.
Teleport.
So yeah, it wasn't the most poggers one, but again, if the thing about the premium and extra levels is true, then at least Sony is making an effort for their new services. But all right, cool beans about Returnal.
Yep.
I'm sure Lucky will continue to share his thoughts over the time as he touches the goop hole.
You say share thoughts, but it's probably going to be screaming and probably slight panic. Maybe major panic.
I was talking about it later dates. Maybe like Monday.
Probably.
Monday streams. Other stuff like that.
Strams.
Let's see. Is there anything crazy cool coming out the rest of this month? I mean, you actually retweeted a chart that I retweeted. Square Enix is doing bonkers this year.
Well, yeah. Actually, we had a bit of an interesting discussion about that, I think. Because this ties up in a lot of PlayStation stuff, but two things of note happened. First off, we finally got the release date of Dad of Boy. It is this...
Dad of Boy 2 in the father and son trailer.
Yes. They know what's up.
Yeah.
And
November 9th?
Well, it's in the early November slot.
Early November. It was, funnily enough, because this will go into one of the discussions we had. They basically announced it would be like 2 or 3 days before Starfield's original release date. So that was an interesting thing. And I think there's a lot of chicken and egg discussion on the internet about that.
Yes. This also came around the same time that Square Enix announced that in a strategic move, note this term, in a strategic move, they're deciding to push back Forspoken into early next year.
Yeah, I believe the exact phrase they used was, after extensive talks with our partners, we decided to make a strategic move. The game is basically feature complete and is undergoing final polish. But for reasons we will not specify, we're moving it.
I basically came to the conclusion that the reason that they decided to move it is because Square Enix has a fucking explosive lineup for like the next 2 years.
Yeah, let me see if I can dig up the chart.
Yeah, dig up the chart. But Forspoken, unfortunately, it was going to be released in the same time slot as Dad of Boy 2 and Starfield. And I'm pretty sure those talks with key partners was talks with Sony, who basically convinced them to basically give up their slot to Dad of Boy 2 so Dad of Boy 2 can get a stronger market share of the pre-holiday season.
Because Forspoken is still a PlayStation exclusive.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've pulled up the list. So we've got Strangers in Paradise DLC this month.
Yeah.
And Live Alive on Switch is this month. Never been brought out before. There's a new Final Fantasy 14 patch in August.
Shit.
In September, they have 2 releases. DioField Chronicle is, in fact, supposed to be real. That's still coming, even though there hasn't been a lot of marketing about that.
Shit,
And the new Valkyrie game, Valkyrie Elysium, is also late September. And I believe that is on everything.
Ah, Gorilla!
There's the Switch release of Nier Automata. That's in October. Then they've got Star Ocean, also in October. Let me double check. Is that on everything? Yeah, that's everywhere. PC, Xbox.
God, I wish they would. If I could break line of sight, they get confused. Fuck, but they don't. They just always know where you are. I hate that. I hate that.
Very quintessential to Lucky. Harvestella is November 4th.
Very excited.
Which is like 4 days before God of War Ragnarok, but most importantly, is only Switch and PC currently.
Mm-hmm.
So, very interesting. And then Dragon Quest Treasures is in December. And then Forspoken's new release date is January 24th next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't know, but there's going to be Romancing Saga Remastered sometime this winter and Crisis Core Reunion sometime this winter. So that could be anywhere from I would guess, probably a late November release to, January or February next year, depending.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big ones, I think, other than Forspoken, Square Enix's next couple of big tentpoles: Final Fantasy 16 summer next year, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth winter next winter. So anywhere from late 2023 to early 24.
So,
assuming they also don't have to move that for any reason.
Yeah, so no, Square Enix is dishing out a lot of stuff over the next year, so I'm pretty sure the reason why that God of War Santa Monica Studios did not have their intended release date announced was with the announcement of Starfield. They decided to have talks to maybe do some shuffling on the release dates so that they can get so that Santa Monica Studios, who I should note is a first party Sony, Sony first party, excuse me.
Directly owned by Sony. They are, we call them Santa Monica Studios, but they are technically Sony Santa Monica Studios.
Yes. Can get a little bit more of that pre-holiday market share. And Square Enix will just... usually, post-holiday isn't as good. Usually, especially in that early January, because everyone's tapped out from Black Friday and Christmas sales. So they're probably taking a little bit of a loss there on sales, but
financially it's still the same fiscal quarter, so it won't affect their shareholders or anything.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, if I was Square and they're not the same obviously, and Forspoken would have been out a little under a month-ish earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, one is an big open action RPG, and the other is another big open action game which has some RPG elements. It is not necessarily going to be the especially when you're exclusive, right? You can only be on the PlayStation consoles. It's probably not the best matchup, right?
Right.
And I gotta say, it's definitely one of those things where, like I said, there's a chicken and egg discussion about the Starfield thing. Did Ragnarok decide to lock in their release date in November because Starfield pushed? Or I have heard some people suggesting that maybe Xbox caught wind of the rumors of Ragnarok's release date in early November, and knowing that Starfield, being a Bethesda game, would maybe not be as polished as it could be on its initial release date, because the release date has absolutely nothing to do with the dev cycle and everything to do with a cool release date that you can talk about with, and generate hype with.
Yeah.
They were like, no, this will not be a good look. Because, I want to say, I feel like I think Xbox with Game Pass has a winner in a service, service-wise. I think we can admit that Game Pass is pretty good. They're very committed to day and date and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's a very solid service. But Xbox has not really been slamming it out of the park with first-party games yet. Like I said, Halo Infinite, I've heard the gameplay is good, but that the story left some people with some stuff to be desired. Wasn't a huge, slam-a-jam guarantee, and has its own issues. Obviously, Starfield was pushed, so I don't know if they want to make sure that they're really getting out there.
Shit.
Another interesting thing about where Forspoken would have ended up is it's important to remember in terms of PlayStation exclusives. Allegedly, Last of Us Part 1 is coming out in September. Now, I have no idea if they're going to stick to that one, but that's when it's supposed to happen, so that could also be it's really going to depend on how good the remastering part is, because I could see that being a big seller for PS5, but I could also see it being a complete flop. I can genuinely see people being like, I don't really need to buy Last of Us again.
I honestly can't see anything being but a flop. I really can't.
I don't want to be mean to Naughty Dog or anything, but it's just one of those things where, and I say this as a guy who routinely buys games multiple times. I literally just told y'all that not only did I buy Persona 4 and Persona 3 FES for my PS2, but I bought them again for PS3, PS2 downloadable versions. And we'll presumably buy them kind of again, probably get P4G and, P3P on my PlayStation at some point. I have bought Okami several times as well. I'm not averse to buying games multiple times if I really love them. I just feel like in the case of the tech and accessibility, part 1 the part 1 move is not the best move. Like I said, I get what they're going for. They kind of want to take the taste out of part 2's mouth. Take the taste of part 2 out of everybody's mouth. There we go. I remember my grammar. But seriously, and in September, like, I don't know, man. Let me see. What else is going on in September? We mentioned earlier that'll be Valkyrie Elysium. They're also doing, I believe, a PS4/5 version of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, also in September to celebrate.
I do believe that was PlayStation Portable. Punch!
Yeah.
Shit! Fuck! I hate that move. Watch it in a minute. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I see. He speeds to you and he slaps you, and you're gonna go tentacly.
Stay away.
Boy, he fast.
Stay away, nerd. Stay all the way. Ah!
Ooh, Evil West comes out in September.
All right, done. Oh, it's called a Titanops. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: I don't think September's like a cracked month or anything, but there are a few games that are slated in there. Including the new JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle Royale R. It's early September. I mean, like, I'm sure somebody's gonna try and push Lord of the Rings Gollum as like a cool game, but I have like, and I'm a huge dork. I have absolutely no enthusiasm for that game whatsoever. August is going to be pretty crackle-lackle, though. It's going to be fun for me. Let's see. I had fun for some other people. Marvel Spider-Man's coming to PC in August. That's cool.
People will have fun with that, yes.
But that's that RPG Time, The Legend of Right game on Switch, if you're in for that. Obviously, you know, Saints Row.
It comes out on my birthday.
Yep. Soul Hackers 2, if you're down to climb with Atlas. That's August 26th. And on August 30th, I'm super hyped. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Rad game. And they're at least going to keep the split screen co-op. I don't know if there's going to be online co-op, but pretty cool. I will say, October itself, like we talked about where Forspoken would have ended up, that's also kind of a stacked month. I don't know if there's really any games that directly compete, but there is a lot of stuff happening there as well. You know, there's that Gotham Knights game. Obviously, you mentioned Star Ocean, the Divine Force is coming out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the second one.
I went the wrong way.
That's also in October. Plague Tale Requiem in October.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a good spooky game for us. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now that I think a lot about that one's gonna be good. And again, I have no faith this will do anything to the gaming market, but Overwatch 2 does technically come out in early October. It'll be free to play, so I don't even know if they're gonna make any waves. But if we've said all our stuff about kind of that move, I mean, obviously, God of War Ragnarok, Dad of Boy, we're super hyped for.
Oh yeah.
Actually, wait, that's I've just realized that's very funny. What was our streaming relationship between the OG God of War remake, the Dad of Boy 1, and Plague's Tale? Did we do that in that order as well?
I believe so.
That's kind of funny. Because, I mean, just to predict, we have about 1 million things we can stream, but we've talked about this. We have said we are not averse to running Plague's Tale Requiem, obviously, because, you know, the first Plague's Tale, very great game. Hopefully not too long. And then, since, you know, we did my, you know, first impressions playthrough of the new God of War, we've said we were willing to stream Ragnarok as well. Or I would handle that. Lucky can destroy it in his own time since I'll be streaming. So that would probably line up for what sort of stuff we would be, you know, ready to rock and roll and stream in October and November.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of lines up. It's pretty fun. But I don't think we have a lot to say about Ragnarok other than, hey, they gave a release date. You can stop yelling. It is November 9th, by the way. No need to freak out, everybody.
Everyone just remain calm. Oh! Okay, I'm safe.
All right, I'm going to let Lucky deal with whatever he's yelling about and go grab my bottle of water real quick.
I gotta go hit this doggo. Oh! Okay. Alrighty. Doggo smacked.
I'm back. I'm in the seat.
Gotta grab more magic rocks.
But yeah, speaking of November release dates, I mentioned it earlier, but hey, y'all, remember Skull and Bones? That's real. It's actually happening.
I actually don't remember hearing about this. Like,
probably because I believe it was first announced like 5 years ago. Hold on, I'm gonna go look it up. Skull and Bones is so old that I believe we watched the trailer for the first announcement. Let's see if I can figure out when it was. It was like E3 2017. Yeah, it was like 5 years ago. I think we watched that E3 with Ron, and he was excited for it as well.
Sounds alright.
Yeah. That's how long ago this game has been in development hell.
You motherfucking...
And I vaguely remember the name, and I was kind of like, when I saw some of the trailers and stuff, and started seeing like ads in front of YouTube videos yesterday, I was like, huh. Oh, wow, are they actually bringing that back? And yeah, they are. I think there's a little bit of weird branding here. I don't know why they insist on saying an Ubisoft original below it, but they do.
Easy, because they do so many goddamn Tom Clancy games.
Yeah, I guess they got to specify that it's their brand. So it has been through a lot of development nonsense. The recent trailers, I did actually watch their like multi-minute gameplay breakdown. They have said that the game, when it releases later this year, it will be set in the Indian Ocean, or a territory inspired by the Indian Ocean. But it was previously going to be set in the Caribbean, which I was interesting because I was like, oh, the Indian Oceans, that's not, typical, even though there was a lot of piracy there as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, they did kind of change up. I think in some of the earlier trailers, there were some more obviously fantastical elements which have been stripped out, though they did say, based on. But I think one of the OG trailers had like a Kraken or something in it. No sign of any of that in the current trailers. So it's just kind of a weird little thing that happened. Apparently, the game went through some major revisions and worked with a couple different studios and had a lot of different ideas. Apparently, the project to develop the game cost Ubisoft like $120 million.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm. It started as being developed by Ubisoft Singapore, and now has like spread to additional work with like their Berlin, Kiev, Paris, and Philippines studios. It is all over the place. But I did watch the gameplay video, and I'm gonna say it seems okay. I haven't had an opportunity to play Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag yet, but a lot of people really liked the boat parts of that, and this game was directly inspired by that bit, so I'm assuming the fundamental conceit is okay. I've seen some of the trailers and stuff. Basically, you start as, your bog standard nobody pirate. You've been exiled and whatever, and you're out on your own, and you start with a small boat, and you must become big boat. They don't ever use the words Pirate King, but they do say in the trailer as one of the segment rules, they talk about rule, and I'm just like,
I heard the term Kingpin a lot.
Yeah, that happened a couple of times. There's... Basically, you have an infamy meter, and you raise your infamy by doing stuff, and the more infamy you get, the more shit you get access to. Pretty typical. The game, I don't know how online it will be. They did specify all the content can be done solo. And you can, on the fly, grab players you run into in the world to, like, invite them to group up with you and do goals really quick. They did say, obviously, there will be opportunities for PvP. They said that PvP matchups with other players was supposed to be, like, challenging and dramatic, you know, high risk, high reward. I kind of hope that's true, but I have my doubts knowing how people usually play PvP and the excessive amount of people, for instance, who are butthurt over the you know, flawless matchmaking mod for Elden Ring that also turns off invasions, and like people are like, oh my god, like ludicrous. PvPers in Elden Ring are so attached to their, and I'll even say in most Soulsborne games, are so attached to their identity as PvP guys that, like, it's touch grass, get some help. Like, you are not like, I am designed to balance the system around player summoning. I was intended thereby from Soft to be the balance. No, that's dumb. Yes, I know, kind of hypothetically, invasions are supposed to, like, counterbalance out the fact that you can co-op with your friends, but damn, that hurt.
I don't know what that was. I think that was evil goop. I should probably not touch it anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like you don't have the thing to get through this zone yet.
I do not have thigh-high waders.
I mean, I don't think about thigh-high. I'm pretty sure you took a faceplant in the goop.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure it's because I touched the goop.
Ah, goop. Do it, goop. But yeah, no, like, so I will say this. I think the trailers they've shown, like both gameplay and story, like, you know, cinematic-wise, interesting. You know, who doesn't like a little Yarhar now and then? And they did say there will be, quote-unquote, extensive cosmetic options. You can pimp yourself and your boat. You know, pick your colors and flags and shit.
I would like to be a big titty pirate captain. Yes, please, thank you.
So, like, obviously, that's always a good sign. They talked about how they have different, like, classes of ships for different roles. Like, so cargo ships are, you know, slow and not as well defended, but you can haul extra shit. The example in the trailer is literally they have, like, cargo netting on the outside of the boat you can cram more crap into. So, you know, if you want to do buying and selling and hauling lots of loot, you can take a cargo ship.
Woo!
There are going to be navigational ships, you know, which are more faster and more agile but carry less guns. And then I think they call them firepower ships, you know, fire ships, which have more gun mounts, better protection, but are harder to maneuver. They're really hauling out the stops in, like, the weird naval weapons of war you can equip. Obviously, there are cannons you can do. That's the pretty typical pirate thing, but they have shown, like, fucking hwachas, so you can shoot rockets at people, ballistae, mortars, all kinds of shenanigans. There also will be some, you know, get off your boat and wander around mechanics. You can, you know, obviously dig up buried treasure on islands. You can visit various outposts to sell and buy supplies and shit. There was a heavy emphasis on crafting your upgrades for your boat, finding blueprints, upgrading your blueprints, that kind of stuff, which is interesting. I like that as a mechanic usually. I don't know if that's necessarily, like, the best feel for a piratical game. But again, like I said, they've got me enough interested that I want to see some reviews. Like, they haven't had me check out, but also I'm like, you've got some interesting ideas. I want to see how this plays out first. You can apparently, like, customize your armor to be better against certain kinds of attacks and stuff. So it sounds like they've got a decent system of customization for, like, you know, gameplay and stuff. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you know, especially with the multiplayer elements, you know, open world stuff. They even talked about, like, world events and whatnot. You got to see if there's, like, an obvious optimal, but it's interesting, you know. Like I said, I'm not averse to the you know, who doesn't like a little pirate story, right?
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eyeball on it.
Well, I'm just like, well, I think the problem I have is I think Ubisoft has had a problem with unkept promises and whatnot.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm also going to throw out there, this game has been in development for like 5 years, and I think has been restarted from scratch like a couple of times.
Oh, I died.
Which, not to say...
Oh, I live!
Yeah.
Shit! That's right, I forgot I had a parasite for that shit.
I lived, bitch. But yeah, like, now that that's always been bad, like, Destiny had a very weird dev cycle that actually turned out, like, eventually
God
okay.
damn you homing projectiles, fuck!
Well, also homing projectiles while you're fighting in this weird featureless red desert.
Always keep something between you. Ow! Oh, that fucking bone thing fucking scared me. Fuck. Wait, what's this?
Yeah, I can see how we do that.
Nope, nope, nope. Is it dead? Oh, fuck, I forgot. It relieves death rings. Alright, I live.
Wait, so this guy explodes like the Death Star and you have to jump over its rings?
Yes. Yeah, I am taking this weapon. Thank you very much.
Guns and greebles. But yeah, like, if you're interested, like I said, they've put out a couple of trailers. It's going to be on, like, everything major. PC, PS5, Xbox. So, like I said, I think I'm going to follow this one, and I'm going to see how it actually pans out, because I know how people be, you know? And if it's one of those cases where it's, like, always online, and it's very easy for you to get fucking groobled by other people on the high seas, I don't want any of that shit, you know?
Yeah.
That ruins the pirate fantasy when there's griefers lurking outside every port.
And people will do it. Don't you think they won't?
Yeah. So, like I said, I want to see how it turns out. But like I said, the trailers, both like the cinematic and the gameplay trailers, really emphasize the like, hey, you have to decide your path forward. You figure out what you want to do. You decide how you do the stuff. Now, I admit, I didn't really get a read from those trailers, like what the actual intended like core gameplay loop is like. Like, obviously, you can go out and hunt boats, and they even have like, if you sink a boat, you can only salvage so much of the cargo, so you got to get close and board. Yarhar. And to get more loot, and then I guess you go sell loot and upgrade your blueprints, but you can also, like, do stuff. I'm wondering if there will be, like, simple, like, cargo missions, you know? Can you run out stuff on your own? And it's one of those things, like I said, where I was pleasantly surprised that the game, in fact, did get a re-reveal and has, like, you know, announcements and stuff.
What the fuck is this? I'm curious.
Made it to the summit again.
Oh, it's a teleport to... Oh, son of a bitch. Going up. Or down? I can't fucking tell. No, I'm going down. Shit. Bye!
And of course, you know, November is also new Pokemons. You'll be happy about that.
Of course people will be happy about that. Alright,
There's a lot of stuff still open-ended that hasn't been clarified, but I think otherwise December is actually a pretty clean month. That's just Callisto Protocol early. Now, obviously, you know, several of the titles which are not clearly outlined will fall in there somewhere, you know. Bayonetta 3 is still supposed to be sometime this year. We mentioned earlier, Crisis Core Reunion is not have a hard and fast release date.
All right, everyone, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm about to fight a boss. I'm going to lose horribly. Don't fucking judge me.
That's okay. Chat's hardly speaking.
Shit, what is this weapon?
How you doing, chat?
This is a boss,
No
dude.
German zone.
Ah, die. Just die now.
Got the Front Mission remake still didn't have an announcement date? Wait on that one. Another slightly awkward tentpole release is Hogwarts Legacy supposed to come out this winter. That still doesn't have a release date. And I suspect again with the Ragnarok news and with Starfield moving, they are probably thinking about what they want that date to be. I mean, if I was going to do simple marketing, I would release it around, like, in December with,
Hoops!
like,
Oh,
a
internal
week or
damage?
two.
What?
No, are you being poisoned?
Something happened. Oh, I suffered damage on overload. Fuck, that's right. It's my... Damn it, I did it again!
Careful.
Oh, my death is fucking nigh. Yeah, I gotta go through 3 rounds of this shit where it keeps doing shit every, new shit every time.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily excite me, but, you know. Oh, but yeah, what I was saying was, if I was gonna pick a release date for a Harry Potter game, I would say, like,
Shit!
just in time for Christmas.
God damn it. I stabbed myself. That's what happened.
Reporino. What the fuck is... What is this game? So I'm just looking at the release, and there's a game called Proto Corgi.
That sounds amazing already.
Look at this box art. I posted it on my channel.
Hang on. Looks like a indie game by someone who watched a lot of anime and likes corgis.
Yeah, gonna be published by Deep Silver. Oh yeah. There's also a Star Trek game that's supposed to come out this year. The one that's inspired by Telltale, so you actually like make decisions and shit. That is allegedly this year sometime. Scrolling down the list of games and trying to look for... Yeah, there's a few things out there. Well, he's got to destroy the boss later.
Like, there's no... Again, like, this is the thing. To destroy that boss, I have to go get me a bunch of artifacts, a good weapon, and be very, very good at dodging for a very, very long time.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an endurance run. Lucky, I've just realized a slight issue for us.
What?
I've opened up next year's game releases. So, allegedly, the Dead Space remake, January 23rd.
I refuse to believe that. We've heard, like, nothing on that.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any real footage on that in a while, so I don't know about that. But if that's true, that's like a day before Forspoken, so that's going to be slightly awkward.
Nah, that's going to get pushed back. I guarantee it. We have not seen... Like, within the year of release date, there should be, like, some sort... There should have been, like, a release date trailer, some gameplay footage, you know, all that kind of stuff. Especially since it's post-holiday. Especially if it's post-holiday, you want to get early marketing out so people will know, and maybe, you know, set aside some of that sweet cash before they blow it all on Black Friday and Christmas shopping.
The official reveal trailer was 11 months ago. They do have some demos. Like, there was a new gameplay demo that some people got access to about a month ago. But like I said, that's just their own outlets being like, "Hey, we got to play this," and got to play for a few minutes. So yeah, that's considering the only official trailer I can see is from like about a year ago. That's not a great.
That does not inspire confidence.
Listen. I love Dead Space, and if they're just remaking, like they're just rebuilding the game again, you know, with like new graphics and probably some like maybe you know do some new things with the controls and stuff, you know, but keep everything mostly the same. That's fine. But also, yeah, as Lucky said, games have like a whole structure out there, and you have all this marketing. You know, post-holiday is a actual slump in a lot of spending. That even extends to us, actually. Like, it is a known thing. YouTube generates, like, less ad revenue, like, in January because, hey, Christmas and New Year's is over with, there's no longer a big push by sellers to sell you things. If you missed it earlier, X, Lucky talked about this. He does get some permanent upgrades, but not a lot.
Nothing.
But
No.
there are some things that carry over.
No permanent upgrades in the form of attack or defense. Usually just exploration.
Yeah.
And you can discover new items that will then become available earlier in your playthrough. But again, this game is this game expects you just to keep. This game expects you to get good. That's all I can say.
Which, hey, if it's got a nice gameplay, that's okay.
Yeah, like I don't hate the gameplay. I think it's okay.
By the way, just to let everybody know, to finish this thought before we talk about some other stuff, and I'll scratch my note about Skull and Bones being real off my list. Because that is, in fact, a game that is real and will happen. Probably. There's like 3 games with hard and fast release dates in 2023. Dead Space, allegedly. Forspoken, because they got moved. And RE4 Remake, which is in March. Everything else is, we don't know exactly. Though it will probably be a pretty rad year for video games as well. Alan Wake 2. It's going to be pretty fun for us. We know, obviously, we've talked about 7 Rebirth maybe, and 16 yes, for sure. That should be the span for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Sometime in that year. What the fuck? I hadn't heard of this. Is this real?
Real.
I just see a listing for Payday 3.
Really?
Yeah, allegedly next year. The last article I've got this on this website, though, is from last year, talking about games stuck in development hell. So I'm not sure we will actually get a Payday 3 next year. But it's supposed to come out next year. That'll be interesting. Definitely gives me No Fucking Way vibes. But, you can be pleasantly surprised. And allegedly, the Breath of the Wild sequel will come out that year. Allegedly. It will come out. I'm not going to say nothing about when it's going to come out until Nintendo's like, yes, hello, I'm here to announce it's coming out tomorrow. Here's your pre-order. Pre-orders explode. I know what's up, y'all. Ooh, right. Jedi Survivor's next year. That's cool.
Is it? I could have swore it was just announced,
it was just announced, but I do believe they said 2023. I'm going to guess if it's true, that's probably late 23.
Yeah.
We know they've been working on it, obviously, but that's still going to be out there. And Sony's been throwing out a few, indie games and stuff that'll be coming out sometime there. Am I doing weird audio glitches? Is my audio freaking out to you at all, Lucky?
Nay.
Okay. I have been, when it gets stormy ever since my internet's been exploded, and reconstituted, I have occasionally had issues with my upload speed. Sometimes my VC has gotten a little weird, and obviously, if you've been following me on Twitter and stuff, Prog was delayed, and some other stuff had some issues because my YouTube upload speed is really weird. It'll be this will take an hour to upload, and then 30 minutes later it'll decide, nah, it'll be 5 minutes. But yeah, we got a couple of weird things.
Shit, it's a gorilla.
Be freaking out to you. Big monkey. They want their revenge for Ape Escape, Lucky.
It was for their own good. Ah! Yeah, that's right. Punch that rock. Fuck you. Stairs, save me! Ow! How did I not die? Get sword! Oh, I missed. Stay away, stay away, stay away, stay away, stay away, stay away. Break line of sight. Airborne! Sword!
Back, damn you.
Sick. Now I gotta kill everything else.
You can't say it's not dynamic, everybody.
Like I said, no, like I don't like the rogue-like elements, but I do enjoy the actual gameplay.
And honestly, I think that's the key, right, to these
Right.
kinds of games. Like, obviously, a lot of roguelikes are meant to be, on a certain level, difficult. You know, we've talked about the resetting the runs and stuff. Like, there's a baked-in amount of difficulty in the way it works. But if you've got a core, like a good core gameplay loop, you know, and like, obviously this is, you know, very pretty, good aesthetics and stuff, you know,
Wait.
it's fine. You know, the guns are cool. You climb tentacle ropes.
Well, actually, the tentacle ropes try to bring me into a maw, but I use them to access areas that I normally wouldn't be able to. Because you can just dash out of them at any point.
That's amazing.
Let's see. Because there's still, I'm pretty sure when I beat that Ixion boss, I'll get a ability that'll let me basically grapple onto certain points.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, in this area specifically, if you use the tentacles to bring yourself up, you can dash over to some locations. What is this one? Greatly increase max integrity, reduce proficiency rate. No, I need my proficiency rate. If I don't get better weapons, things take forever to fucking die.
Yeah, all the health in the world won't help you.
Yeah. Let's see here. No, not that one. No. Always got to be careful about what you smoke there. Pick your parasite carefully, y'all. Alrighty. Where the hell was I doing? Oh yeah. Ugh. So.
Speaking about some games next year, as a brief aside, I want to shout out Lucky for sharing that Mega Man Battle Network animation yesterday.
It was so
Not
fun.
only was that an immediate retweet for me, but also I fell into a hole of listening back to my favorite old OST tracks. Because Battle Network does have a banger soundtrack, y'all.
It was so funny.
Oh, yeah, it's great. And I said this when I retweeted it. It is also 100% correct. Like, in those games, if you think about for a second what Land Hikari accomplishes, which is, like, hey, like 6 games in a row, you stop, you know, globe-spanning cyber terror efforts to destroy internet infrastructure and other bullshit several times on your own, armed only with your fucking smartphone, basically. And your AI buddy, who might also be your twin brother. But still, like, these are run by, you know, like, adults. Including, you know, the Battle Network version of Dr. Wily, who knew your grandpa. And now you just beat their ass. And nobody ever... I shouldn't say nobody ever thinks, but very rarely do the enemies think to just pick you up being a small child and, like, lock you in a closet.
Jump
Yeah, I
for
listened to
freedom!
some,
There we go.
Some Battle Network jams after that. Because that one used, I think, one of the boss themes from 6. But that is allegedly coming out sometime next year, and I'm very jazzed for the Battle Network collection.
I'm probably gonna, I guess, I talked about this before, but I'm probably gonna pick that up as well.
Yeah, it'll be a solid attempt to get in there and play some of the games that I never got a chance to, and just also relive some old games I haven't played in a long-ass time.
Yeah, no, like, you just did out of Mega. See, I'm just gonna get here. It's like, oh no, it wants to take me to that, but I'm gonna be like, no.
Yeah, it's like the weird barnacle traps in, like, Half-Life, but you're like, nah.
Freedom? I don't think I can make that jump. Yeah, this is the thing I was talking about where I have to use some sort of device that I don't have. Yeah, but no, I solved the problem with tentacles. Like most things in the world.
Interesting.
Okay, I can't make that jump. Okay. Where the fuck am I going? Let's go this way.
But so aside from video games, also last weekend was Anime Expo.
Oh.
And there were a couple of zingers.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So. Sorry.
Big, yeah.
Like I said, I've been working on slow juicing my computer and late night uploads, so my sleep schedule is sleepy. I've been working hard on stuff.
Fine,
I don't have a lot to say,
fine.
for instance, about Three Hopes. I played a lot of hours when I didn't have internet, so I had to kind of take a little bit of a break, and I just haven't had time to play a lot since like last weekend. I did also play a bunch of hours of Stellaris while my internet was out, but you don't really need to care about that. It's mostly fine. Other than just, the Federation system and stuff is, it's very interesting when you actually build allies and they actually send fleets to support you. That's so cool. Sometimes they send lots of fleets.
Wait, what game was this?
Stellaris.
Oh, yeah.
I picked up an old save, like I said, when my internet was out, and so there was nothing else to run on my computer anyway. So I clocked in some time, and I did some alliance building, and it was very fun to expand my Federation with some fellow militants, and when some local rockmen or bugmen are out there causing trouble in my neighborhood, laying claims to my systems and cutting off my Imperial expansion, I can just be like, nah, fam. I have a joint alliance fleet. It's very large. We put all our shiniest ships in it. Die. Also, I may have completed a storyline which got me access to a special artifact that allows me to do, orbital bombardment with space smallpox. Do a little war crimes.
Don't worry. All
it damages
government.
organics without damaging infrastructure. Everybody.
Fuck you, heal tower! Get wrecked.
Always fuck you, heal towers. That was very annoying about the DLC in Horizon. The goop towers. But yeah, so AX had a couple of announcements.
Well, it had several announcements, but I guess it's the ones that stick out in the brain.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of stuff, but there were some that were pretty big. I think the number one stunner was it's finally happening. We have entered the weird timeline. The Pantheon Stalking Season 2.
People are excited.
Yeah. But yeah. Apparently, Trigger did in fact get the rights to Pantheon Stalking somewhere in there. And they've got a lot of the staff, and they're gonna make a sequel season. After, like, the most cliffhangeriest season ever. After all these years, we shall finally get resolution.
Will we?
Who the fuck knows? It's Pantheon Stalking.
That's what I'm saying.
True facts.
It's a gorilla! One second. Gorilla problems. Shit! Fuck you guys! Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! Everyone off me! Die, gorilla!
Gone. Everyone be gone.
Oh, good. Pistol. I like pistol better. Here. Ow! You motherfucker! That's the one thing I don't like, is that, like, even in mid-combat, the screen will just show up in the middle of things. I'm all like, I need this, and it's like, I am blocked! There we go.
I cannot see to loot. But yeah, so Pantheon Stalking fired up.
There you go, got rid of it.
Another one that got a lot of vibes was a new Trigun series was announced.
Yep. Trigun Stampede, done by Studio Orange. The CG, the 3D CG company best known for Land of the Lustrous and Beastars.
So you can relax. The CG will be good.
I mean, they had an actual trailer, and it looked very good to me. I am slightly nettled at the internet, as usual, though.
The internet is not happy about Vash's current design. No, the new design.
Haha.
That and some number of brain dead people are like automatically CG bad. Never mind that, as Lucky just pointed out, this studio does Land of the Illustrious and Beastars. And if you've ever seen any footage, like I've never watched the series, but I have seen clips
Cleeps?
from Land of the Illustrious. Yeah, the CG is good, guys. they put the time and money into making it good. It is not like we're gonna use this as a cheap alternative to traditional animation.
We're not gonna go X-Arm.
And oh god, don't remind me of the extra screenshots. You showed me a couple of those. Some of those clips gave me physical pain. But yeah, and I want to point out, cheap 2D animation exists too. There are plenty of anime series that have been made, like rushed and under budget or underfunded, I should say, and are also bad, and they're still, the traditional style. So it's not an automatic factor, but yeah, no, it's interesting.
Oh yeah, there have been a few interviews coming out now, and the reboot is working. I do believe they're calling it a reboot. So I'm not entirely what assures it might tread ground like before what actually happened in the original anime. Because the Trigun anime is one of those weird ones that had to do some weird shit because not all the source material was out at the time. Much like how Full Metal Alchemist was.
Yeah.
So
not that both Full Metal Alchemist series aren't amazing, but it's so funny. Also, by the way, the real testament to the power of Full Metal Alchemist that they actually managed to like right away get a remake series.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like that's a thing we don't hear about a lot anymore. Like, anime studios are so tight that, like, manga and like, light novel adaptations are like, you get one core. We'll be back in, like, 2 years to do another storyline or two. Like, I think just the way the industry works has changed so that the studios don't commit to, like, yeah, we're doing 52 episodes of this, so if the manga's not done by the time we get to episode 52, we'll just make some shit up. I feel like that doesn't really happen a lot anymore. And if it is still happening, give me some examples, y'all.
Well, yeah, I guess, like I said, not necessarily that, is if they just come up with some... The fuck? Those are shiny. Why are they shining?
The real ending isn't out yet, and the author won't tell us everything, so we just have to figure out a conclusion on our own. Or we have no conclusion. There are actually some anime adaptations like that just don't end. That's like the original long-running anime of Inuyasha, just like has an ending that's not an ending. Nothing changes. We just decide the adventure will continue, but we stop making the anime for a few years so that Rumiko Takahashi could finish the manga. It do be like that sometimes. But anyway, so what they've said about Trigun Stampede is that they're calling it a remake, so we don't know exactly what content it'll cover.
No, but a lot of people are speculating it's actually the time, mayhaps, from the actual, it's like starting from the actual beginning, as they actually do start with, Vash and Nai on the spaceship and them, send them down to the planet. Which in the anime was a big reveal, but if they are starting their first trailer with that, I'm pretty sure it is going to be basically from the start, probably up to like the July incident or something. Something like that. I don't know. Oh, I feel like there was more announced at Anime Expo that I can't remember. I remember painting stuff.
There's a couple of things. So, I'm looking at a list. We got another trailer for Bleach 1000 Year Blood War.
Oh, yes, that was another one. Yes.
Big stan. Love the music selection they did. Like, the first big trailer was obviously a remix of Number One, which was amazing.
I love it.
For this new trailer, they went back to, like, the vibes of some of the movie soundtracks. If you've ever heard, Treachery and the like the big orchestral with the choir. And I'm like, ooh, I'm here for this. So yeah, and the trailer itself is just pretty rad. It's got great composition and shows a lot of stuff.
If we're talking about Nai, I believe his original name was Nai, but then he took on the name Million Knives. It was something weird like that. I don't fully know, not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So, sorry to interrupt you there.
But according to data from TJ Kubo, he's been working closely with Studio Pierrot on the production. They say they're going to use contemporary coloring. Don't know what that means, but I guess that means maybe a more diverse color palette. Or maybe he can get color correction because, as a fan who read the Bleach manga and watched the anime in sequence back in the day, the coloring in the anime was super fucked. Like, I think it was Neliel had an attack that was called, like, something Azul, or like that, but it was fucking pink in the anime for no reason.
That does not seem very Azul.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm sure the animators didn't speak Spanish, but still, like, it's clearly the name is blue, and then they just don't say it. But TJ Koba did add that previously omitted manga scenes will be added to the anime. So that's a straight-up confirmation that not only will you be getting, like, the conclusion with the 1,000-Year Blood Arc, but we're adding new shit back in. Presumably stuff that his editors wanted cut.
I'm like, again,
should be interesting.
Well, I think that's like the main reason I got so mad at Bleach. Like at the end, it just everything felt so short and quick and unexplained. I'm just like, what?
That's a real fact. Like, I believe Kubo did not get along with his editors at Shonen Jump, and they wanted him to wrap it up. So he was under pressure to deliver a fast, punchy ending, and so the ending was rushed. It seems like there's some opportunity for them to actually, like, fill out some gaps and explore some stuff, and maybe not have the ending be rushed because, you know, we're releasing an anniversary, you know, follow-up season. We're doing a big release that people are hyped for. So
I'm hoping it's gonna be like 52 episodes.
Yeah, I hope it's a chunky season.
Like,
we'll probably know closer. It's set to premiere in October.
Yeah, this year. I'm excited.
Yeah. And then after that, please do more Burn the Witch, Kubo. That was great.
Why are so many gorillas? Stop! Fuck! Ah! Bad gorilla!
Local astronaut destroyed by space gorillas and space trees.
Ow! Heal! 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 Run! 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 Fuck you!
Dynamic chat. Fuck you, I'm out of here.
Damn, it's not ready yet.
We got a hard and fast release date exactly when the next part of Stone Ocean is dropping. We already knew it would be September, but it's going to be September 1st, so minimal waiting on that one.
Stop it!
I'm still jazzed about that. I'm a little nettled it's taking so long, but, you know, like you said, the studio's got to produce stuff.
I'll cut you! Oh, this is why you need bigger guns!
You always need bigger guns.
Release me! Get sliced! Oh wait, that's right, it's a fucking lightning gun. Is that everyone? Is that... Oh shit, here's a carbine right here. Yeah! I love this gun.
This news is interesting. I believe we mentioned this before previously, but they're still making more Fooly Cooly.
I don't understand why. Alternative and progressive weren't the worst, but...
Yeah. But they're working on Fooly Cooly Grunge and Shoegaze, but it was apparently confirmed upcoming at AX that the Pillows are back for the music.
I don't know. I feel like they didn't actually do much for the other one, but we'll see.
Correct. But yeah, so I'm scrolling through the news list and I'm like, right, that's something we're doing.
Can we stop with the fucking... Oh, I'm glad I had a line on it, but Jesus, that's like the third heal tower.
It's a lot of heal towers.
It's like, stop that. It's rude. Alright. Boomst! Oh.
Sorry if I'm quiet, y'all. I'm just running down there. I think we already mentioned on an earlier stream the Cyberpunk Edge Runners opening video. We saw the opening, the OP.
Yeah, is that out yet? I know it's on Netflix, along with the new Bastard anime, which people are saying good things about. I should probably watch it at some point.
Let me check when Edge Runners release date is. But hey, speaking of Netflix, don't forget, guys, next Friday, Uncharted on Netflix, the movie.
Wait, stop that.
Edge Runners. Official sites. Get me.
Because wasn't it supposed to come out?
We have we know the episode count in the titles. It's not out yet, but there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be 10. That's thought wrong.
At least that's the ones they revealed. Can somebody, for the love of God, all right, I'm gonna type in release date, and Google's gonna give me the answer when just typing the fucking name would not. August 31st. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Google even auto-completes it. Why the fuck would I just search this? Can you not tell me this, anybody? Yes, but no, that will be late August.
Okay.
Still got a little bit of wait, but they do have the OP. They used Franz Ferdinand.
I'm kind of surprised that they actually chopped it up for the OP. I don't know.
I don't know much about the band.
I mean,
in terms of like their opinions. I know that CD Projekt Red, when doing the music for 2077, did actually work with quite a lot of real life artists to like pick it up and do the unique style. So.
Damn it.
No, interesting. Viz is going to let you do a bulk digital release buy of all episodes of Bleach dubbed. If you're down to climb with that. Obviously, we already talked about the Fate-related news that came out, Witch of the Holy Night, and the Grand Carnival release.
Mm-hmm. Have you had a chance to watch that yet?
No. I've been so busy because of the extra day.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta take some time and catch up on some stuff. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too crazy in there. I know that I saw a little bit of vibes, I think, in our anime manga about whatchamacallit. What was it? Did I close that tab? I think there was some interest / concernicus about what was it? Solo leveling, I think, got announced.
Oh yeah, no. A1 Pictures is doing solo leveling, and your boy Sawano is doing the soundtrack, which automatically got me invested. And from what I've read a bit of the manhwa for solo leveling, and I think it's all right. But solo leveling is probably the most, what's the word I want to use, popular Korean light novel there is.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It has audiobooks. It has audiobooks. It has an English release. It has, it's very, very popular. So it's eventually going to get a full animated animation, and I'm excited to see it. I didn't think it was the worst. I think it's very. This might sound a little weird to say, but I think it's very Korean light novel.
Yep, fair enough.
I've read several of them, and they all have a very distinct. What's the word I want to use? A very distinct leaning. A lot of Korean light novels really like it, where their protagonists completely ignore the opposite sex and are obsessed about making money and gaining power. And solo leveling is exactly like that as well. But it'll be fun. Let's see here. So, was there anything else that I was thinking about from AX? Not really. They had a lot of cool stuff. I do want to say I am happy about AX in general because through the power of AX, I know it is literally our country's biggest anime convention. It was literally so big, you know, fucking the fire department and had to get involved because boy howdy there was a lot of people there. Too many people. You! Ah!
Very much too many people, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I have... Well, obviously, I think it's very nice that we have this you know, big celebration. But...
Shit!
It is definitely kind of a thing where I think they have a little bit of a... whatchamacallit? Scale problem?
Yeah.
Like, I heard a lot of people talking about, like, the temperatures were really bad. Like, some vendors weren't able to, like, carry their own water bottles in. Which, by the way, guys, if you're, like, doing anything related to security, if you're concerned about water bottles, just tell them to take a drink out of their water bottle. If it's something bad in there, they won't do it.
I'm trying to remember, what was their concern about the water bottles?
I don't know. It's just one of those things that is a generic security concern in this country. There are, like, obviously, in some cases, people are concerned about you smuggling, like, vodka in there, you know, alcohol, without any kind of, like, approval or anything. The other big thing is that, like, certain clear chemicals can be used for the bad stuff. But I don't really know why you would feel the need to, especially in the middle of LA, in the middle of a drought, like, in the middle of summer, you know, July 4th weekend, fight people about the water bottle. I believe it is a pretty standard process, though.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I don't know. Did they have like readily available like free water inside the con for people, or they like now you gotta go buy it?
No, I don't think it was like easily available. Yeah, like for instance, if you were doing like a vending booth, you would have to like get up and leave your booth to go get water.
Yeah, no, that's dumb. I guess I can understand if they provided water at a like provided a fuck ton of water for you inside the venue, but if you take something away and don't replace it with something, you're fucking dumb.
Yeah. Another thing was like some people have released some stats and stuff on like the carbon dioxide levels in there, which are apparently like bad. Like there are so many people in a confined space breathing that like the oxygen quality is bad, basically, and there's not a lot of ventilation.
Dash!
So like they have a fuck ton of people. There's some stuff that's interesting, but at the same time, it's still.
Well, I still think it's great because like we're actually getting like actual like not just like voice acting and stuff. We're actually got people from like their dev teams and whatnot, showing up and giving world premiere information that hasn't even been like talked about in Japan. It's like worldwide. I'm like, that gives me like, it makes me happy that us in the U.S. can like participate in that culture on such an intimate level. Like,
yeah, that's definitely like I'm glad we've really reached that point.
That global. I gotta remember, I fucking hurt when I fall. Shit. Oh,
there is fall damage.
Well, no, there normally isn't, but I have a parasite that lets me take fall damage.
Okay.
That's why I usually don't think about it. God damn it.
But yeah, like, we've reached such a point with the anime industry that, like, and the general, like, business relationship with Japan that you straight up are getting, world premieres. Like we talked about, like, at the Xbox event, they are fucking calling up Hideo Kojima on the video conference, on the Zoom call to be like, hello, yes, I'm working on a new game in cooperation with Microsoft Studios. Goodbye. Right? Like, but that just shows that, like, the industries are so interrelated. Like, Kojima is buddies with guys over here. Guys over here are buddies with game developers and anime developers and other studio people, like, back in Japan. And we can actually, like, straight up just be like, hey, yeah, no, fly a guy out, come over, drop a release, brought over, we talked about this on the stream and stuff with FGO, but hey, the Part 2 unit director, Nissan, came over here and has been working on his English to do so, and I assume his vocabulary is not like perfectly shored up, but like you can tell his English has really improved since he started. he was able to say quite a lot of things to the crowd and do a lot
Mm-hmm.
of reads for them before he had to switch back. But still, like, there's, you know, a lot of interesting stuff. So it's really cool that we can, in fact, get these kinds of motions. And I think some of that is just due to the increasing, like, vertical integration that some big companies like Sony is doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, so Sony, a company that started in Japan, even though I believe a lot of their current executives are, like, over here, but they still have a lot of studios and stuff in Japan as well. They were like, hey, we're just gonna buy Crunchyroll and Funimation, and we're gonna glue them together. Figure them out, and just do the stuff.
I wonder if that's why Sentai Filmworks cut themselves off and went to High Dive, making me have to buy yet another subscription service.
Oh, I'm sure it's gotta be some kind of, like, weird relationship like that.
Because that is something Lucky did finally pick up High Dive, and I'm slightly nettled because it has no console app, which means I can only watch it on my computer, which
Studios owned by AMC Networks.
AMC, really?
Yep, they are the parent company. They own AFC, Sundance, etc. They have their own streaming services in AMC Plus, Shudder, stuff like that, High Dive. So honestly, yeah, it sounds just to me like AMC Networks. Let me actually see if when they actually. Yeah, so AMC Networks acquired Sentai Filmworks this year.
Oh.
In January, and they that was a lot of the stuff about, like, Anime Network and High Dive and stuff. So I'm sure that is why they went exclusive, is because AMC Networks owns them now and is like, no. Cooperation? Non-exclusivity? In my streaming market? Which, as we know, is a huge pain in the ass, and we don't like it. But yeah, that sounds about right. That acquisition was earlier this year, so.
Damn it.
Like, I believe that technically High Dive has always been a like subsidiary of Sentai Filmworks, but they were also, like, up to like 2 years ago, Sentai was in a close relationship with Crunchyroll, so it sounds like they were willing to work together. I mean, it makes sense because Sentai Filmworks is based in Texas, where Funimation is based as well. So, like, I imagine that, like, some of these guys were, like, willing to work together, and then we weren't because Big Corpo got involved. There's big money. Terrible shame, as always. While I was digging for some other news, I did just realize I did find a hopefully increasing story from earlier this week. Apparently, there is a job listing that Sony is looking for engineers to develop classics emulation, which may mean they are trying to actually get like native PS3 emulation going. We've discussed this before, talking about, like, PlayStation Extra, I think the highest tier. You can access PS3 games, but only via streaming, similar to the now discontinued PlayStation Now service, because the PS4 and PS5 cannot natively emulate PS3 games. So maybe Sony working on hiring a guy. Even if it's not for PS3, that probably means they're trying to expand their list of emulated titles.
Oh, yeah. I think it's probably they're trying to work.
Oh, I assume that PS3 emulation would be high on their list. Like, that was a pretty, like, obviously, sales-wise, the PS3 was very expensive and the hardware was weird, but, like, there were a lot of really good games in that generation.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, that was a good generation for them, so I would assume they would want to get that juice back. That said, I am also still, like, we've talked about this before, I'm, like, really wondering the fact that, like, certain of their first-party game titles are not on that list. Like stuff like Killzone, like stuff like Sly Cooper. Like, are we waiting in the wings? Like, I know Sucker Punch said that nobody was working on, like, Sly remakes or new games currently, but that doesn't, like, are we in talks for that? Who knows? Whomst knows?
Not me. Again, I just need to become a fake fucking journalist and start calling fucking people and start asking questions.
I mean, hey, we've got. I mean, the credentials are a lot tighter these days, but we have a channel. We're partnered with YouTube. Like, we are certified advertiser friendly. We're not quite press or anything, but we do have a podcast. I don't know.
Shit, turrets! Stop it!
Shit turrets. This was not directly related to anything else, but I was reminded in my attempt to double check on AX News and dig back. This was another funny one in terms of like video game remakes. Apparently, Lollipop Chainsaw is getting a remake.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
That is my own, but never got around to playing.
Really?
Yeah. For the PS3, never got around to actually trying it out.
Oh,
But it sits on my shelf right now. But yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a weird one when that news came out.
I kind of made a weird face there, like, okay. I never played it. I don't know why. Who doesn't want to see a girl in a cheerleader outfit chainsawing zombies?
Yeah, you know, it always seemed interesting, and let me make sure I'm getting all my facts right. I'm gonna double check my lookup. Let's see, that was Grasshopper Studios. Yeah, it was a weird one because it was a collab between, you know, Suda51, known for No More Heroes, among other things, and also, you know, a little guy called James Gunn worked on it. Yes, that guy. Not that he was as big of a deal at the time, but like, it was one of those things where I'm like, yeah, this looks funny, and you know, we've got some interesting stuff going on, and like I said, I like, you know, No More Heroes and so on. I was interested in trying it, but I never got around to it. Now, unfortunately, for the remake, apparently both James Gunn and Suda51 have said they aren't directly involved, which is a little bit sad. But, you know, if they keep the original stuff, I'll look at it, or I'll just be like, people will say, no, it is not a good remake. I'll be like, well, I'll be sad. At least I have my original PS3 copy somewhere I never played.
Yay.
We can bring it back. How do we do this? 2 hours? I'm a little sleepy for only doing 2 hours.
I feel like you're
But
constantly
like I said, I have been staying up a little late working on shit. We did have to call a little bit of an audible with our regular Yu-Gi-Oh stream. Obviously, in case you weren't paying attention earlier, my internet did go out for a long period starting Monday on the 4th. Thunderstorms blew some stuff up. Our modem got forked or something. So missed Monday stream, rescheduled that Tuesday. Bucky was down to clown with Great Ace Attorney on Tuesday, so we did that. Moved our regular Yu-Gi-Oh stream to Thursday, just in time for the unfortunate news of Yu-Gi-Oh creator Kazuki Takashi's passing. Though I do believe they had said that when he was found, he had been dead for a little bit, unfortunately. But that required a little bit of an audible in that strategy as well, so that turned into a very long episode where literally the first 30 minutes are just most of the lads who were around, you know, talking about their, you know, remembering Takashi Sensei and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that got very long and drawn out, and then I had to stay up till like 6 waiting for Prog to process. So I'm a little. I've been slam-a-jamming the work, and it's not over yet because you know. This is where I play that sound clip somebody did clip for me about me talking about how Albert's trying to kill me. We do have the new summer event, you know, starting like on Tuesday or something, so I want to have a one video done for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm sure I'll catch up with some other stuff. Like, I am actually planning on probably, after we're done, you know, doing this and I use some audio and stuff, probably actually, like, sitting down and playing some Three Hopes or something. But I will probably try and take a... Like I said, I don't know why. I feel a little sleepy. take a gander at like Grand Carnival and stuff. Hopefully, sometime when it cans. This does remind me, though. I think it was last week's WhatsApp because we were talking about like buying Blu-rays and physical media. I did bring up that part of the reason why I do buy DVDs and Blu-rays is because occasionally, you know, the Sky Gods do get angry. And it was proven correct. I did actually, you know, bust out my new Blu-rays of Standalone Complex and watch some old Ghost in the Shell to kill time with no internet. Because that still works, everybody. Your digital library means nothing if you can't access the internet. And I know some of you think that that's like an alien concept, but it do happen.
Oh, it do.
I think somebody even talked about, one of the people in the chat talked about how they were going through rolling blackouts earlier. Like, infrastructure is not a given. I can't read what that does in the profile list, but I like the name of this. Shocking Fire Stinger. Yeah, but I think the only thing we might want to mention that I've got left is tabletop stuff like Delta Green. We are actually you stumbled into a little bit, which is funny, but we are very definitely at the last part of Starcourt.
Yeah, no, the last session definitely had me sitting back, like, you know, I'm at work, I'm having idle thoughts, and I'm just like, yeah, no, we could have done that better.
Yeah, we you guys realized that you accidentally stumbled into the climax.
Yeah, which honestly I kind of think is kind of the worst way to go about it. Because when you reach the climax, like that's literally the point of no return.
Yeah, we've hit the video game equivalent of, hey, save here because you won't get to return to before this point.
And I feel like I don't blame anyone for this. This was just a series of
events,
just a series of events.
Yeah.
But like, sorry, I'm trying not to just, I'm trying to pick my words carefully so I do not sound like I am, you know, saying fuck you to anyone in particular for any sort of action, because like I am also a culprit of this because I got in the it's the climax mood as well.
Yeah.
But
you know, you guys were just minding your own business, you know, doing your work and everything, and then I think it just got to be like, oh, hey, we've got some stuff, we're gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
You know, you got a hold of some of your items, your plot coupons, and we're like, ooh, we're gonna do plot now. And then afterward, when I, you know, start rolling on the like, well, you've destroyed all but the last plot thing, so the plot is gonna get plottier right now. It was like, we probably should have pre-planned that a little bit.
Yeah. And that's the best way we could have planned. Like, we can no longer pre-plan. We literally have to go in.
Yeah.
And I also put some narrative pressure on some of the players. Some who felt it a lot stronger than others.
Yeah.
Well,
and we had to discuss the specifics.
Yeah.
Based on my memory. Luckily, you know, say what you will about the views or production or whatever, but the beauty of recording the session is we can, in fact, just go back and check the tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Which not everybody has that power, but, you know,
shit.
we can occasionally get in there and be like, hey, what exactly were we doing last time?
But, yeah, no, like, but, wait, do I still have the fall down, get hurt one? Yes, I do, okay. I gotta remember to... Shit, I still fucked it up. Oh, shit! Ah! Turtle! Crab! Turtle crab! Scorpion!
Crab with, like, missile launchers. What the fuck?
Oh, don't you fucking spin to win. You asshole.
No, he's gonna spin. He's gonna spin, he's gonna shoot waves.
No, 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 no! Yeah, this is one of those enemies that only get hit on the head.
Hitboxing. Well, at least his head like glows red when you boop it, so it can tell you.
Get sliced!
I'm also noticing I didn't really think about it before, but man, you have huge ups.
I got a jetpack. When I jump, it's you can actually see the rear boosters going.
Yeah. Gives you a big old height advantage.
Haha, take that. Eat shit. I don't like the Spitball Blaster. I really don't. Alright. Is that everything? That's everything. Let's get out of here. But yeah, in Delta Green, like, I feel like we definitely might have like missed some chances. We might not be as well armed as we potentially could. And I feel like we are caught up in the storm of conflict at the moment.
I would say I think you're probably about as well armed as you could be.
Well, yeah, armed.
But like there was an aspect to this setup that you guys did not engage in, which is what do we want to say this? Not necessarily force multiplication, but like asset neutralization.
Yeah.
You guys were very focused on finding the anchors and then dealing with them. And so there are, you know, kind of as consequence, you guys have eliminated a couple of like enemy assets and avoided some stuff. And it's actually, you know, quite funny. We've like openly discussed the concept of one of the kinds of like weird threats you can run into, the Hollow Men. But other than one that for plot reasons, you guys have actually done a very good job of dodging conflicts with Hollow Men. We'll see if that sticks, but like that's just like, even though that is possible to run into multiple times, that is just like a weird thing that Kara saw once, you know. But there are some threats that you guys did not confront in any way yet, and possibly could have done some stuff, some pre-prep to soften the beachhead. But I don't think you guys were thinking about it as beachhead terms, per se. And, you know, obviously, you know, I don't want to be like an asshole GM or anything, but also part of the vibe is not to pull the punches. You know, the reason why there is this climax mode is because, hey, you know, that makes an organic climax. You know, you guys could have. It is technically in there. You guys could have collected all the anchors and just sat on them long enough to break all of them at once. I would have probably tried to do a couple little things to, you know, have some people try to get those back or resist that one a little bit. You know, wouldn't have been scot-free, but you probably could have pulled that up because you guys are genuinely pretty competent at what you do. Up to and including accidentally murdering a guy in the parking lot. You're very competent at that. Very talented at the cover-up. Only cost that guy a little bit of sand. But you guys probably could have pulled it off. That would have been probably a technical anticlimax. Now, for a game and a universe like Delta Green, anticlimaxes can work because can be part of the vibe, right?
Right.
Like, just another day at the office, we wrapped it up, crisis averted, okay, we get to go home, and it's like, that's it? We don't get to, like, fight the big bad? Nah, we don't want to do that. That sucks.
No, we still don't want to do that, but boy howdy.
Well, again, we'll see. You know, I don't like to lock you guys into any option gameplay-wise, but we'll see what you guys decide to do. You might decide to have a shootout with the demon. We'll see how well that one works out for you, though. You guys do at least have a couple of useful tools, you know. As brought up before, your magic gun has put a name on your list, and you haven't used it since that first fight, but you do still have a hypergeometry katana, which one of you can use very well. And Dallas has been, outside of his accidental murder, been leaning fairly well on the Sword of Paracelsus. He's actually brought that out a couple of times to have some fun and break some anchors. So
yeah,
I don't think the old man wants to get into close combat with a demon, but he could. It'll be funny.
Yeah, but that's like one of the things that I feel like we were kind of lacking in. Like, we discovered who the High Noon Demon was, and we found out that, you know, I keep wanting to call him Doug Dimmadome every single fucking time. Diamondstein. Yes.
Yes, I did deliberately do that as DD, and he dresses in white, but I did also drift the names a little. Mr. Diamondstein or Dunstan. Meanwhile, Lucky's going to engage really quick in the laser beam scene from Ocean's 12.
I did it!
Ah, sucks to be you, laser beams.
Oh, that's a big lad. Oh, he's shooting me!
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Don't do that! You hit me? Fuck you! Oh, please no. Please stop. Please stop. I hate homing lasers. The regular ass bullet's fine.
There's a lot of homing lasers.
Alright, he's down. He does fucking death waves, though, because he's a dick.
Yeah. No rest for the wicked. But yeah,
like,
so like you guys did go to Diamondstein's house, and Garza did a pretty effective job turning it over.
yeah, and so he definitely, like, there was definitely... Oh, do I just want to go fight the fucking boss again? Sure, why not?
Fight the boss man.
Fight the boss man. And, you know, we found out that Diamondstein, for whatever reason, I'm not like entirely sure, was, you know, researching, like, ways to fight the demon. I don't know if he was, like... Well, I'm pretty sure he was all like, this is bad. And stuff, but we, like, know almost, like, nothing about, like, the demon's motives or its origins or what the actually fuck it is. I don't know that if we could have actually figured it out, but...
I mean, some of you have some very good unnatural scores. Diamondstein's notes have a lot of stuff. I talked about how, like, for instance, because you already learned the Closing the Breach ritual, you can do the thing where you can adapt that ritual you already know to dealing with the Noonday Demon. Though, again, that's still... Closing the Breach is an interesting problem solver, but it is not a Swiss Army knife.
No.
It is a scalpel tool.
I'm still gonna learn it even after this, but it's one of those things like...
you don't need to learn it. Just with the notes, you can adapt the ritual you already know through study.
Yeah, but we don't have...
I think it's in my notes. I could tell you once you take a little bit to, like, read those notes and figure out how to apply it. And depending on how well you do with this car drive, because there's a giant storm outside, you might have enough time to do that on your drive over. I think I said it's like 15 or 20 minutes normal drive speed to the mall. So like probably like 5 to 10 if we're doing, you know, the balls out action movie stuff. Assuming you succeed. You guys don't have a really super excellent driver. You just have, you know, decent drivers. But I can tell you, like, the willpower sand costs involved in that if you wanted to think about that angle. But again, that's going to take a little bit. It's going to take like an hour.
Yeah, and like I said, like, I upped the narrative characters by talking about, like, if, like, you know, the program doesn't hear from us within an hour, you might have to, you know, drop something on the fucking mall, because we might be dead.
Yeah. Which honestly, like, considering the narrative structure and what you guys had to do through, like, the first half of this, you know, catching up with the lost team, that's a decent thing to bring up. Like, hey, we're gonna go to the problem right now. If you don't hear from us in, like, an hour, assume we're dead and do something about it.
Yeah.
You know.
But I realized that might have put a bit of stress. Ow, I just got booped by a blue ball. That might have put a little bit of pressure on people. And,
yeah. And you did bring this up between sessions. I kind of like the way you phrased it. You said, I'm not sorry, but I do want to know how people feel about it.
Yeah. Well, oh, shit. Because it is true. Like, I definitely felt I definitely felt like it... I hate this so much. I have to jump that, and then I have to dodge balls, and I have to jump, and I have to dodge balls. I have to jump, and I have to dodge balls!
This reminds me of me doing certain of the... Not quite the same, but this reminds me of doing certain of the boss fights in the Kina Bridge of the Spirits with the... You gotta jump this, and then dodge that, and parry that.
Shit.
And then I learned how to dash in, like, the last fight.
That's right, I can dash through shit!
Whee!
Now it's gonna do some weird shit! There it is! That's right, I just need to dash through shit, because they give you the lovely, lovely power of just being invincible when you get, when you dash. Which is a godsend.
What's the difference between red balls and blue balls?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I think the blue ones are just faster than the red ones. Son of a bitch! Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
going to fuck off a stand.
Oh, shit. No! I did not hit circle fast enough.
Holy shit. How many... Sorry, I'm just thinking, how many fucking attacks does this guy have, and he's got, like, 3 bars?
Yeah, no, like, again, bosses, I mean, mid-bosses, they're tough, but, like, they only have, like, maybe 1 or 2, like, most of the things before bosses only have, like, 1 or 2 attacks.
You have defeated several gorillas tonight.
Yes, they are intense, and if they, you know, get in my grill, or have a lot of ads around them, yes, I'll have a bad time, but I know how to deal with them. The boss's attacks just are so ridiculous that, like, I know how to deal with them, but sometimes I just can't keep up with the actions. Like, the middle thing, like it's either, you know, you have to constantly dash through them or jump over them. And, like, there's just so much happening that, like, again, that's why I don't like roguelikes, is because everything has to be a fucking perfect run. Like, not perfectly perfect, but if you fuck up, like, it's very hard to recover from a fuck up. Like, in this game, like, again...
The design of a roguelike is, if you get in a bad way, you have to call it quits and start over.
Yeah. And then you have to start all over, and you might not have the same tools you had the first time, which, you know, means you might have to approach it in a different manner. So I'm just like, Anyway, what I was talking about with Delta Green is, narratively, I did like the fact that I made an hour, because also we're in the climax. We're not going to be, you know, sitting on our fucking thumbs while there's a literal freak storm happening, and, you know, FEMA and the National Guard are maybe, like, on their way in to deal with a national disaster. So it's one of those things is, before everything gets bogged down in government shit, we have to get in there, solve the problem, and get out.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we're going to go in. If we don't call in an hour, we are probably dead. And, you know, the program has to do something drastic, because this might be a problem as we have to deal with a literal demonic concept.
Yeah, you know, there's just a tiny little demonic incursion in suburban Ohio that your current intervention has led to possibly this circumstance being exposed to, you know, hundreds, if not thousands, of unrelated National Guardsmen and, you know, federal aid workers.
So, yeah, before that gets out of hand, something has to happen. Either we deal with it, or someone else deals with it. So...
yeah.
No, like, I definitely wanted to put the narrative pressure on players that we can't, you know, dawdle about this. We have to go, we have to do it now! And whatnot.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm still going to say, because this was actually something that was happening as you guys were, like, doing stuff, was, like, obviously we can have the final tulip scene, because while I introduced the phone call from headquarters, you know, and the discussion about, hey, guys, there's this, you know, stormfront, you know, whipped up out of nowhere and has suddenly developed over the town, and that's bad, and, like, it's immediately, you know, blown out all methods of transit, so you know, we've already declared a state of emergency, and you know, FEMA and the National Guard are involved. And I do want to say, I didn't think of this until earlier today, but I do actually think technically when you guys were discussing with headquarters about alternate solutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Green did bring up that that they were working to have National Guard ready for some kind of response if it was required.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is an important thing to note about the program. They're really powerful and obscure and all that other, you know, fun stuff. Anyway, it looks like he's talking about some, you know, weird identity shit, time loops.
Oh yeah, no, if you're online, you can actually fight, oh, this is a broken one. I can do it. Yeah, if you go online, you can basically fight the corpses of other people who have died, and they're a bitch.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, it's an artifact. Sick.
Neat. But like, you got to remember that while the program is very powerful, they are, you know, a dark conspiracy hidden within the arms of the U.S. government.
Blacker
they
than black.
have a mandate, but they can never explain what they want to do, which is, by the way, something I would like to, just in general, I run into some people who don't always get the purpose of Delta Green, like the program, and think of it as like, oh, it's just Men in Black, or we get to solve every problem. No. Just because when you're playing a program game, the program has the legitimate authority to authorize a drone strike against a Shoggoth in the middle of Texas, doesn't mean that you still don't have to explain in a Senate hearing why you ordered a drone strike in Texas, and you can't explain to them it was to shoot a Shoggoth. You are not allowed to do that. That is like the number one thing the program can't do, because the unnatural is kind of weirdly infectious,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, even though technically you are a sanctioned government agency, you still have to do illegal shit and like cover up what you do, because if it ever gets public, you're in trouble because somebody will have to be deniable. And which is why, you setting the hour timeline of like, hey, if you don't hear from us in an hour, we're probably dead and something bad's happened. You're going to need a new solution. Honestly, I thought that was just a fair heads up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew what I was doing, but
yeah.
Again, like, I do feel like some people might not have like necessarily understood my intentions.
Yes. And obviously, this was, right at the, I was like, all right, it's the climax. We're cutting the episode, because that's the perfect time to do cliffhangers. I think this is actually recommended in the original Apocalypse world, but
Really?
I always prefer to, I've heard several people like do this style, and I kind of prefer it, to leave, not quite on a cliffhanger, but always to cut your episode sooner when you know there is more action rather than later. Like, obviously, sometimes I'll ask you guys, hey, do you want to play this part out? But if there's a moment to be like, all right, this is a good stopping point, even if we're all like jazzed up and anticipatory, that's a good point to cut it, because people will usually keep their anticipation for next time. Yeah, which I think is true. I believe most of the players and myself are also pretty jazzed to do this session tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I am. I know I am.
So, yeah. Obviously, I pushed to, like, wrap things up, so there wasn't really a lot of time in character to discuss, like, hey, so when you're specifically saying if we don't call back in an hour, right? Not, like, set the timer for an hour to do all our stuff. But, no. That's, as like I said earlier, that's not what he intended. He told, it was kind of an in-character thing, His character tells your handler, your case officer, hey, we're going in to do the thing. If you don't hear from us in an hour, you should respond. Now, obviously, that does mean that you guys probably want to get something done within that hour, so that you can either call in and, like, update or be done and not have to worry about it, whatever. But it wasn't quite like I think some of the guys would have, perfectly legitimate criticism and stress if I had been, like, Agent Green calls you and is like, you got an hour, to get me pictures of Spider-Man. Like, then that's this kind of situation where, like, you're on a hard timer. But that is not necessarily what I intended for this. I intended a loose timer of just like, hey, so there's a, terrifying, unseasonable storm front here. A state of emergency is called. The federal government is waiting in the wings. You guys need to do something before we can't stop people anymore. And I know we had some, like, Axe also had some conversations and stuff about, like, specifically the timing. Not necessarily just the time limit timing, but, like, how rapidly we got there. But like I said earlier, I think there will still be the final tulip scene, because I want to clarify that, like, you guys were already working on something, so you did probably have, like, several minutes before Agent Green gave you the phone call where Kara decided to say the thing about the time limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys in character were in the middle of, like, all right, I'm gonna, put on my vest, get my gun. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get my gun too, kind of a thing, right?
Oh, yeah. As soon as that storm started, I was just like, yep, it's fucking go time.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Mark's character was doing the same. So, like, you guys were in the middle of a tulip, and then I did the plot event, so I don't want to necessarily cut you guys off from, like, the perfectly necessary player character moment of, okay, everybody, figure out what gear you've got, what you're doing, where we're going, who's got what. And even off camera we discussed, because on mic you guys decided you wanted to bring the remainders of Lilium with you, but I actually like dropped their stat blocks for you guys to view.
Yeah, well, I wanted to know if they had like drive to see if we actually like who was the best driver.
Actually, I think decent, but technically not better than Garza.
Yes,
because I'm pretty sure Garza has failed the drive check, so he's slightly better.
Slightly.
But they've got some decent stat spreads. Like Wellerman, is attack medic for ATF, so she also has first aid experience, which is good because Kara is the only character who's good at that at all in the normal player character group, as we've noticed with some stuff. So that'll be good. You have a backup medic. I realized that I probably should have given you their stat blocks straight up earlier, because something you guys struggle with is accounting. But Carter, the U.S. Marshal's agent, the U.S. Marshal, she has accounting of 50 or 60. So hypothetically, you guys could have asked her a couple of those questions that came up, and I just didn't bring it up explicitly to you guys. And I feel like that's a little bit my bad. Obviously, I told you guys you could have gone to them for stuff and may have mentioned that accounting was something she may have been good at, but it's not the same as me straight up giving you at least their skill list and being like, hey, here's what they're good at in case you need them for something. Which I did not do.
Yeah, I think it was probably a little of that feeling of we knew they were there, but we didn't actually know what they were good at, so we wasn't sure if we should actually ask them or not.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain when you recovered both of them, I probably mentioned a couple of skills they were pretty good at. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I did not explicitly drop the numbers on you, which obviously that's a little meta, but your players, that gives you rational game decisions to be like, oh, hey, these guys have they both have 50 drive. Okay, so that's actually good for us to use in this context, mm-hmm. Or other stuff both of them have decent firearms if that comes up.
Gun.
Let me scroll some stuff. Well, they got some guns. We had a long conversation about lots of things in the week, as we usually do, so. Yeah, Nancy Wellerman has 70% first aid, 30% medicine, 50 in drive, firearms, stuff like that. 60 in unarmed combat. Might actually matter. Some pharmacy as well, stuff like that. Carter's big skills, she has 60 in accounting, 70% in search, 60% in human as well, 70% criminology. Oh, she has 50% dodge. She has above base that. That's a very good skill. So stuff like that. I think also, I don't know if any of you guys have a really high law. I know that a couple of your federal agents have some. You got a 50% on that. And Axe even brought this up as technically they work as backup characters.
Yeah.
Which I even said that wasn't my intention. I just, but I did build them as basically player agents. So how did I phrase this? I think I said that's not the intended use, but still good. Because that can be certainly a thing, especially because Delta Green, if you get in an active combat, can be a lethal system. Literally, there is a lethality roll. So for instance, that one guy, Worthington, he has a big old Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle. Well, if he hits one of you with that, that's a lethality roll. Which if I roll under, you are reduced to 0 HP. And I'm pretty sure taking a 50 caliber BMG round means you probably aren't going to be able to be resuscitated with first aid or something. You are reduced to 0 HP. You are probably dead. And that can just happen based on dice rolls. It's a little chaotic and direct, but it is simpler than just doing logarithmically increasing damage levels and stuff. Even if the lethality roll fails, that's still 2d10. That could still get you. So that would be kind of a shame if we go through all this big conflict and then you guys immediately get into a fight and somebody fucking dies and then they can't. They just got to sit around and crack jokes and crack wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good. We got a couple backups. And even if you don't need them for backup characters, what was the blah, blah, blah?
The what?
The line you said was something attach them to people like adjutants in 3 houses.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, you can definitely be sure that it's not certain things because you've complained to me about things in Cthulhu games that do 3d12 or 66s or something, and I was just yeah, Delta Green doesn't work like that. That's if you go above a d12 damage die with maybe some plus or minuses, we just go into lethality roll straight up. Because remember, if you fail fail a lethality roll, you still take 2d10 damage straight up. So that's just like where attacks cap is just 2d10 and then a increasing chance that you are just straight up dead. So that and there are ways to get around that. If you're in cover against a ranged attack, lethality automatically fails. Keep that in mind, y'all. Cover is good. I'm pretty sure some in Delta Green, no, they don't. You need me to pull up the fucking list on Shoggoths?
Axe, I have a question. Is that a rule in DG or is that a game in another game? I really find it really weird when you try to make your case in Delta Green by quoting system rules from other systems.
DG is unique.
That's super fucking dumb.
It does not technically be a 1-to-1 if somebody uses an old school Call of Cthulhu stat block.
That's like trying to explain fucking geology using a physics textbook.
Right, I mean pictures, not documents. There's my RPG folder. Like, I'll crack this motherfucker open right now.
What is this? Other. Is this an artifact?
Like, Shoggoths are pretty mean. I'm probably never going to use them as they're written, because they're just giant assholes. They take, like... They have, like, 50 hit points and take 1 point of damage from, like, everything except fire and explosives. And then, even if you kill them, they don't actually die. They just go inert until you set them on fire again. And I'm just like, okay, I get we want to make the classics impressive, but that's just too much of a rules pain in the ass. I have to arbitrate that. There are other ways to write that around so that it's like, if you run into a Shoggoth, you have to call it a drone strike. You got to get the AC 130 kill streak.
I mean, and even if we do run into the demon, like we're not helpless. We got.
You do have several weapons that ignore the hypergeometry protection.
Yeah. My gun literally does. If I use the special bullets, doesn't it double? I forget. Is it double damage or automatic crit? It's automatic crit.
Automatic crit is double damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you automatically do 2d12.
Yeah.
1d12 doubled. I
Something.
think it's you double the dice rolled.
Either way, and it ignores probably ignores some hypergeometry. That's not small.
It ignores the hypergeometric protection.
And
well, okay, Axe, if you're going to quote a shotgun scenario, those aren't official. Those are just randos on the internet make those and submit those, so the rules are different. Like, if a guy wrote that it... Hold on, sorry, my Adobe is fighting me. Open the document I click, please. Like, that's just that's a thing a guy made up. That's not officially supported. And hey, guess what? Your GM is a guy who makes stuff up, too. As I just said, I actually do not like the Shoggoth stat line in Delta Green Handler's Guide.
Make your own Shoggoth.
And I would really like to cross-reference the official numbers, but Adobe is... Oh, I mean they do, but the thing is, Axe, like, you've quoted specific numbers before about stuff, like... and I'm like, that's not usually how the stat lines go. Like, and to be fair, you know, we've mentioned this before, like, the Goos, the great old ones, the actual, like, infamous big greebly guys, they don't even have stats. Like, the official rules are, if a great old one wants to do something, it does it. Unless you don't want it to do that. Like, obviously they have, like, specific, like, you know, references to, like, because some things have, like, variable scales, other avatars don't, are, like, fixed in terms of shape and stuff. Ignoring damage, whatever.
Sword!
I don't know why Adobe is being very butts today.
It's a butts kind of day, Adobe.
But we are so looking at.
I still got hit. Health! Give!
Well, yeah, I know it says double damage. The question is what it means by double the damage. Does it mean double the damage dice, or you double the damage you roll?
I mean, it is like a
Both are
deep.
pretty simple. There, okay.
God,
PDF reader has woken the fuck up.
Woo! Hi!
This is why I need to someday. I'm gonna do my dream and buy the print version of the 2 books so I can aggressively flick.
Damn it! So many fucking... Ooh! That was a lot!
Is that under earthly intelligence? You know where the Shoggoth's at.
Ow, ow, ow.
Well, I mean, again, Axe, I'll say this. I think you're overestimating, because I'm actually pretty sure in the limited number of official Delta Green published scenarios that are official, I don't think there are any Shoggoths. That I've seen anyway. Now, I will say that, like, given HPL's, like, original writing, I think there's a lot of wiggle room in, like... I'm not sure what it is. Like, there's wiggle room in what you do with them. And certainly, I think some writers like to lean too much into the classic mythos to just be, like, out there. But and I'll admit, like, we started off our current Delta Green run because I got a great idea to work with a Dimensional Shambler, though I did adjust what exactly its, like, stats and stuff were to my own liking for things. Because the book version has a couple of save or suck moments. And I mean, I will say there are like through lines with certain like I've talked about this. There are stat lines for certain like mythos entities and stuff that like the Delta Green Handler's Guide has done that I will just straight up never use. Like I don't actually like what they did with the Kenyani. Especially because I actually think that the mound is really rad. Like, it's actually, like, for H.P. Lovecraft original work, it's actually, like, very unique and different, and then they just made it really weird. And I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do with the Leogar. They have 2 L's, so I don't even know.
Lucky does not understand Lovecraft.
Okay, Shoggoth. Strength 100.
Wow.
HP 75.
Wow.
I was wrong. Yeah, it's pretty bullshit. Willpower 12. Let's see. They have 2 defensive abilities. Their only skills are Alertness 80 and Swim 90. And then they have 3 attacks. Grapple and Crush has lethality 15%. Smash has lethality 30%. That's pretty spicy. And then they have an Impale, which is just 1d10 plus 2. AP 5. So, Crush, they can grapple and pin by a Shoggoth. They can try and squish you. Which does the damage ignoring armor. And if they, even if you succeed, you gotta roll so that you don't get slurped up by the goop and melted. They regenerate 1d10 HP every turn. That sucks. Impale, da-da-da. Oh yeah, its Impale also regenerates them HP. Fucking vampire goop monsters. They are resilient, so they don't even...
I leaped into death.
Even a heavy weapon that gets rid of lethality does not destroy with successfully the added 1 set of fixed damage. And then plastic, they can be anywhere. Any attack does no more than 1 damage except hypergeometry or high lethality weapons. And then smash is just they try and crush you, but your dodge is plus 20%. Honestly, like, I think the main thing with, like, the core stat line, the thing I don't like is just all the, like, the 75 HP and that you take 1 damage from everything. Barring, like, weapons that have heavy weapons with, like, 40% lethality or higher, which none of which are man-portable. It's just, like, and then it regenerates, and if it stabs you, it regenerates more. It's just, like, I get what they're going for, but it's just too much of a pain in the ass. Why would you, I would literally never want to write a conflict with a Shoggoth as it appears in the book, because I know that will be my entire session. My entire session will be you guys dealing with this bullshit. And that's just not worth it.
I don't find that very fun, especially with how DG combat is in the first place. DG combat is not made to be long and drawn out. It really isn't.
No, it's made to be quick and lethal. As we saw when Dallas's character accidentally murdered a guy.
Yes.
Like, he tried to pull his punches, but he rolled, like, max damage twice. So I'm like, yeah, you've dropped him to 0 HP total. He is dead now unless you can resuscitate. Nope. Okay, he died.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not really for future reference. If you want to try and apply less than lethal, you should all buy stun guns, because then you can stun them so they're helpless and just cuff them. Actually, like trying to knock somebody out with a thing.
Yeah, I think Kara got lucky because I cracked someone with the butt of the silver bullet and it knocked them down to like 2 or 1.
Yeah,
and that makes it. Really
and something happened earlier with Dallas. Actually, he was deliberately pulling his punch with the flat of the blade, but when he rolled max damage on one attack, that was still enough to drop that guy down to only 2 HP, which is unconscious but still alive.
Yes.
That guy probably still needed to go to the hospital after that because, again, human beings are not okay if you knock them unconscious with a blunt object. You're not all right, but he lived, you know. I think he's got a skull fracture and a concussion, but he'll be okay. Or he won't, because he was in there. Also, yeah, no, like, I think the things, if you guys can check the black budget, but things that are lethality 40+, I'm pretty sure that's, like, a car bomb or, like, mortars and shit like that, like, man-portable missiles, maybe. Like, if that. It's not great. And it's, like I said, 75 HP, you gotta do chip damage, or you gotta have a really big weapon on hand, which the whole point is you don't have a really big weapon on hand. It's just, it's a really weird scenario that's just a kind of huge pain in the ass. Like, I've even, backrolled, I've even softballed my own. Like, I think I talked about this with the Zeitgeist you guys first fought. I realized in my original notes it was half damage from everything. I switched that to half damage from, like, blunt impacts, like unarmed attacks and clubs. Because even at, like, 12 HP, if they take half damage from everything, bullets don't do that much in this system. Like, unless somebody rolls, like, a critical or does, like, a called shot to hit something vital, hitting somebody with a small caliber bullet just randomly, probably not going to kill them. They have to be, like, very weak and fragile. So, adding, like, armor on that, I was just like, nah, that's going to take too long. I'm going to change my rule on the fly. Oh,
you
but
have to.
We're excited for Delta Green.
Yes.
I do not think you guys should relish if you get into a direct confrontation with a demon, but I think you guys know that already.
I mean, if I do that, I'm taking the fucking Zerker juice and I'm gonna fucking go ape shit.
Well, yeah. And that's kind of why I did that, so that if for any reason, I mean, other than that, like, I think it's a weird concept to play into just how everything is kind of bizarre in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to include what is basically a video game power-up, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Zerker Juice is just, like, a thing that makes you really good at combat for a couple of hours?
I think it was like 4 to 5 hours or something like that.
I think it's a D4, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Not indefinite, but enough time that you guys can resolve multiple conflicts and then just be like, yeah, I mean, it'll suck for you when it wears off, but you'll be pretty cool for a while, and you can just do a video game power-up. And yes, that is very surreal. I'm glad you noticed that. I feel like we had that a lot especially over our last couple of episodes, where people were like, boy, this is really weird. And I'm like, yeah, it is, isn't it? Like, I know among a couple of other things, Axe did want to ask, like, about, like, on episode said, so did the storm build while we were doing that ritual? And I'm like, yeah, no, it just happens. Like, the moment you break it, the storm just breaks. And yes, that is weird and sudden. You guys have definitely not experienced weird time dilation recently. And I'm a little sad. We'll do a debrief and a post game carnage and stuff. Because you guys have some extra things that you're not going to get to. You guys dug up some stuff you can study for funds.
Mm-hmm.
That you just aren't going to get time to. So, like you said, there's not a great prep time. But we're going to talk a little about some of the opportunities you may have missed. But I'm still kind of glad how you guys tackled the delivery business distributely. Like, especially those two bozos just wandering into the maze. Dallas gets lucky on his first one and gets in there.
Yep.
And then they get lost.
Lost in the warehouse.
Oh, we did find some interesting things. And I can share with you, like, what the I talked about this on air. I had a mundane list and a weird list, and you guys were, by the time you got to distribute, we were well into the weird zone.
I'm a little sad about that. Again, I was talking about this. I feel like we need to come up with a, if not a full 3 rebinder, we do actually probably need to like actually write down like what we should do when we get onto a new location or have to investigate new persons.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like say like super enforce it, but you know, just a simple flowchart would be nice.
Yeah, like, all right, but we get to person, we need to find, you know, relevant locations and relevant people, and we should probably have a list of what we do to find out things about them. You know, like
Yeah.
where.
And you know, if we encounter a new vector or Sindeem, what do we do about that?
Yeah.
Well, is it a talking vector? Is it walking? You know, or did we find a weird book? Did we find a piece of archaeological evidence that doesn't make any goddamn sense? You know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, actually, you asking me that question? Because you're asking me what I wanted you to do. Oh, I absolutely wanted you to break all of them right away. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
Where
Like,
we get to do the weird shit. Like,
Yeah.
I planned for this. I planned around you guys being too smart to go for the big climax weird shit. But because, like I said, I like to be flexible, and if you guys, you know, beat me at my own game or however you want to put it, I'm okay with that. Like, that's cool too. If you guys can, you know, out clever me. Well, like this came up when you guys blew up the anchor in Norden, like where it was like with the C4. I was like I had reminded you brought the C4, but I was not planning on you guys having the C4. That was like an extraneous thing that I just so happened to have written rules interactions for, and was just like, well, you could just use the C4. And then we used the C4, and that was a whole moment. You can listen to previous What's Up about that. But like I absolutely wanted you to do the big showy climax because I love big showy climaxes. It's going to be really weird.
I mean, I wanted to do the big showy climaxes as well. I just wasn't sure. I was actually thinking that the big showy climax would happen after the 5th anchor. Not the how many anchors are there again? 6?
6.
Yeah, I thought it'd been
5 out of 6.
Yeah, I thought it'd be after the 6th anchor as everything was destabilizing or something. But so
Well, that is valid. I did mention that earlier. If you had tried to just hoard and sit on anchors, I was absolutely gonna have. I don't think it's gonna come up now because we're in crisis mode. But you guys will have noticed I was constantly talking about when you guys are out and about. There were like delivery drivers everywhere, including and regularly coming to your house. They're kind of like part of the mall's intelligence network.
Oh wow.
So if you guys had like left an anchor out on the couch when you guys got a delivery, like they totally would have ratted you out. And that could have turned into a thing. Like I don't think they made you per se because you guys did a good job of like not being obvious in your location versus your activities in the mall, but like absolutely like there were agents out in the streets doing shit, you know.
Damn you, gorilla!
So, if you guys had done some hoarding, I would have tried to get them out there, but also, you know, you guys might have avoided that, you know. I will say, I think directly breaking the anchors is probably the safest way to deal with them because it means that they are definitely broken and there's no fiddling with them. But it just so happens that in this case, you know, you pop 2 at once and you hit the limit and you got in there. Ugh. But yeah, that'll be a good session tomorrow's.
I think so, yeah. I'm excited. You know, again, I'm just a little like I said, I just misguessed when the climax was gonna be, and I'm upset that, you know, I didn't maybe get a little more prep on it because, you know, I wanted to do a few more things. You know, I wanted to learn that ritual. I wanted to maybe make some more Zerker juice because it's nice and maybe get a little bit more intelligent, but them's the breaks.
Well, luckily you pre-bought all the shit you need from the mall, so
Yeah.
even if the mall like explodes or ceases to exist in this timeline or whatever the hell happens when you guys deal with your anchors or the demon or whatever, you still have the shit.
Yeah.
So you can make more even if you use it.
A limited supply.
Yes.
That is the
Well, I
important
like
thing.
limited supplies and resources.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm actually quite surprised, but luckily you've really held out on using your special gun, so you still got all 6 bullets. But I was kind of surprised that you did not try to make extra bullets earlier.
Well, because I have to get the materials. That's the thing, and
Yeah,
and I'm so. I
I
should
mean,
probably.
I can guarantee you that if you went through Distributely, you could find the materials, but
Oh, I bet, but it's one of the things. I got a full load of them, and I'm gonna go full. I'm gonna go full revolver ocelot here. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves.
I mean, if it's a human, we discussed this when you had that meeting with the guy. I did tell you, yeah, if you just pull out your revolver and cap him because he does have a named bullet, I'm pretty sure he's just dead because he's a completely normal human, and you're gonna do like the equivalent of like 1d12 double or 2d12 or whatever. So, he's fucked. Like he's got like 10 hit points and no armor. He's gonna die. I'm just not even gonna bother telling you to roll damage. He's gonna be dead.
Listen, I want to kill people, but I can't kill people without good reason. The gun whispers to me, but I whisper back. Kara does talk to her gun sometimes. Some people might be slightly concerned about this.
Hey, I told you. Unless it is specifically caused by hypergeometry. In this case, it'll be addiction hypergeometry. Your next disorder is absolutely totemic compulsion.
I love to admit it. I enjoy being slightly mad.
Well, I mean, it just talking about like role playing interesting things. It lets you do interesting stuff. Like I think Dallas is having a great time playing Professor Mormo. Professor Mormo is a fucking weirdo, and sometimes he gets in over his head because Dallas has crazy luck about stuff. But like he. Ugh. Like absolutely, I think he has fun just muttering to himself about demons and shit. Whereas some of the other characters, like I think everybody has good handling on their role playing now, especially over the past couple sessions. I think actually, I think Axe has really been figuring out some like even more tech support stuff for Benowitz to do.
Is that a laser wall?
Is that a laser wall? That is. That's a purple laser beam wall thing. Is it advancing towards you?
I'm not sure, but I'm getting my ass kicked by this fucking dog.
No, I think it's just preventing you from leaving the room. Well, now there's a new one. Lucky you can do some fun stuff with the pillars.
And there's more of them! Die, 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 die! Hang on one second.
Yeah,
there we go, got it.
what I was going to say was that, obviously, I haven't mentioned this to Axe, but I feel like you're more comfortable with Benowitz in the kind of this tech support role. Like, a little more proactive and like, yeah, I'm going to go build this thing or set this up.
I think so.
Like, this is why we had the discussion, I think, a couple of weeks ago at this point about, like, the quote-unquote 3-ring binder and, like, trying to figure out the procedure because, like, we did have issues sometimes where characters were kind of, like, stepping over each other with stuff and, like, I don't know if everybody was comfortable all the time with, like, what their roles were or what they do. Sometimes Marth has connection issues. I think he's always been pretty comfortable of what Holland's role is, which is gunman.
He's very good at gun, but he's also very good at supporting others.
Yeah. Oh, and we discovered this when he was part of the surveillance scheme. Like, his athletics and stealth roles make him very well suited to infiltration and stuff like that.
Haha, I remembered it this time.
Not gonna get me this time, bitch.
Leeching that.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I have to go fight gotta go fight the boss to get access to the data cube thing. Okay. I wonder if it'll let me refight old bosses. I should find that out.
Sorry, big yawn. But yeah, if you're interested in the exciting conclusion to Starcourt, stay tuned this week. After that, we're not entirely sure exactly what we'll do next. We did have a conversation afterward, and even Loth was like, yeah, I'm fine with Star Wars. Done. So there will probably be some kind of denouement on that. I don't know when exactly we'll do that. I don't even know if we'll record it. But we'll have a convo about that. I am ready to rock with the outline of the next Sprawl mission. I have to like add some specific details and threats and stuff. But we did mention that last time after we stopped recording Delta Green, because I wanted to bring it up because Aaron did make a character for that.
Mm-hmm. Ah!
Sorry, stomach getting a little under me. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm fine. But he hasn't got a chance to play with us in Sprawl yet, so.
Well, I'm
'Cause,
also.
I've been working on the next Delta Green op, but it is not quite ready.
I'm also. I know we've been playing like we've been really in this Delta Green and the Sprawl move because that's what we've usually been switching back and forth between these days. But I am still, you know, I don't like mention it much because, you know, I'm not trying to force anything, but I am like still very much jonesing for Jin Sakai. Like
Yeah,
I
didn't write anything down yet, but while I was thinking about that because that's the last thing we talked about while I was without internet, and I did.
Oh shit!
I do have my idea for like what a couple intro scenarios were. I just do need to commit some stuff to paper.
And there, of course, there is the option of me doing the Wild Talents game. Like I do have notes on that. I have the prologue mostly done, mostly. And if like people want to like think about that, that is possible as well. But like I said, I'm not that great at the GMing, and you might not like my style, so I'm always leery about putting that up as a contender because, you know, I don't want people necessarily having a bad time. You know, nervousness and all that stuff. Oof.
Yeah, so we have a couple of options. We'll probably take another little breaky brew from Delta Green because like I have to write more juice. Yeah, we talked about swapping weeks sometimes, which I'm perfectly okay with because I don't get to play games ever. Warm. But yeah, look forward to exciting conclusion of Star Court after like 9 episodes. Probably a little too long. That's okay. I'm more focused on the next bit. I like it, but it's definitely too long. So we'll switch things up for next time. But I think that's everything in my notes to talk about, and I'm out of water. So
I
will ask you, Lucky. Do you have anything else from this week you wish to bring up?
Let me honestly think. Well, let's see here. I'm still going on with my audiobooks. Nothing really fancy there. I started Primal Hunter, another audiobook that came from a Royal Road. I like it. It's okay. Actually, I do believe Travis Baldry is writing these. I don't know if it's like in the same, if it's the same characters, but I think he's writing another book in the same universe as Legends and Lattes. The title is Mage Stones and Mysteries. So, I'm excited about that. Like I said, I have a new love of Travis Baldry. He is game developer to audiobook narrator to, you know, author, which I think is a hell of a journey there. So I'm excited about that. Like I'm hoping
I'm excited to read another title by him.
Yeah, no, I thought it was very good. I'm actually following him on Twitter now, and I comment at him, and he likes it, and that makes me feel very, very special. So that's interesting. Again, if you haven't read it and you want a comfy fantasy novel, I once again recommend Legends and Latte. It's very good. It's very nice. And Big Leaf Boy, get cut! Get cut! Disregard gun, acquire sword! This is actually working a lot better than it should. I don't know why. Wow. Let's see here. Anime-wise, we're in the new core. I've been watching a few things. But things are probably going to get a little bit weird. People might have heard about the assassination attempt of the former Prime Minister. We're not going to get really into that, but...
No, but it's been in the news.
It's been in the news. Things are weird. Oh, you are big! But an anime, like, a couple animes might be delayed in some episodes. Some episodes might be being pulled. Some might be, like, who knows what's happening. Shit's weird right now. So I'm going to hold off on actual full anime thoughts until we actually know some more about that stuff. But things are being watched. Things are nice. Let's see here. I don't think I haven't been really playing anything new. Did I talk about Citizen Sleeper at all last week?
Oh, I don't know if you actually. I think you mentioned it, but I don't know if you talked in depth about it. I know you dropped some trailers and stuff in the Discord.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
if you want to bring it up again, it's not like we aren't redundant about stuff. So
actually, no. Yeah, no, I don't think I fully talked about it because I don't think I had beaten it at the time.
Yeah.
Technically, I have beaten it. I have done everything you can do, but if the best way, Citizen Sleeper is a game of, the tagline they use is role playing and it was like role playing in like a capitalist. It's like a negative word, but I can't think of it. But how the game goes is, what is this? Oh, sweet, it's adrenaline leech. I can use that. The way that it goes is that and the cyber oh, is that a, oh, it is a carbine. In the cyberpunk future, you can basically download/fork your brain into a shell and, do work that way. But, it's fucking, it's cyberpunk capitalism. That fucking sucks. So people can just, I feel like I have talked about this before, but I have probably
I think you talked about the premise.
Yeah. And you can, and you get the fuck out, and you basically end up on a, I don't know if it's full an anarchist hub. I'm not sure because there is still, political movements and people holding power, but most people just seem to be trying to live their best lives. Yeah, I don't think they actually have a formal government. I think people are just, I think it's just personal influence and connections, I think. But the thing about the game is it does have a story. It's very moving and engaging. Like, actually, wasn't it on your wish list, Omega, I think? Did you put it on there? I think I saw you maybe with it.
I might have.
Like, I don't know. I might fucking buy it for you. I don't know, because it's good. It's a story about finding your place. That's the best way I can put it. Like, you basically wake up, you have like 3 meters you have to take care of. You have your condition because you're a fucking shell by a corp. Of course, they give you fucking planned obsolescence, so you can't ever fucking escape. So on one hand, you have to find ways to maintain your body, like actually maintain your body. Which can be done through a variety of ways. There are certain what do they call them on it? There's like a medicine you can take. There's and like repairs you can do and all that crazy stuff. So first step, you gotta fucking take care of your body. That costs crypto and other such things. So you have to go out and find work. But when you're just like a new face on this satellite, no one fucking knows you. No one's gonna trust you. So you actually have to start spending time in areas and like doing little jobs and odd jobs so you can meet people, help those people out, and then they start helping you out. And like there's a little bit of stories on there, and it's like a lot of it's really heartfelt. Like, oh god, like the story of Lem and Mina like fucking touched me in a way I didn't think possible. It's basically one of the jobs you can do is you can get a job at a shipyard, working on the construction of a new ship. And in the process of doing so, you meet 2 characters, a guy named Lim, who's basically an ex-mercenary, he was ex-military, excuse me, and his daughter Mina, who are trying to win a berth on the ship by doing work for it. And Lim's I think there's only like 2 people who are not decent fucking decent folk in this game. Like everyone's pretty fucking chill and comfy. Everyone's, like I said, everyone's trying to live their best life, and no one's really trying to fuck you over. Like, well, there are a couple people, but yeah, most of them.
By the way, the tagline you were looking for, because yes, I did check if it was on my wish list, and I was about to ask for the exact name, and then fucking Steam's just like, yes, here it is, Citizen Sleeper, recommended by one friend, and I'm like, there it is. The tagline is role-playing in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism.
There you go. In the ruins of. That's what it was.
Yeah. So, yeah. And yes, it is on my wish list.
But, and, like, you hang out with them, you talk with them, you're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking do it. We'll both get on this ship to get out of here. And I'm gonna spoil this slightly because I think it's very good. But, you both get to start to working on it, act like as you progress, and then you have a conflict. Lim is he's a single parent and his babysitter flakes out for whatever reason. I can't remember why. But Mina has taken a liking to you. So Lim basically asks you to watch Mina while he works so he can, continue work, get the job and work on the ship. Now, you have the option of not helping Lim, but like there's a timer. If Lim doesn't do enough shifts, he won't be able to get on the berth. So you have to decide if you're going to, take time out of your day during your own problems to help this guy out. And me, being the fucking softy I am, did. And, we got to move on to the next part of the story. He got the job. We're both super fucking happy working on that. The story goes on from there, but I don't want to ruin it because it's good. And there's choices you have to make, decisions you have to make. You have to look at yourself. You have to look at your friends and decide, what is the best for, us or them and stuff. And, a lot of the stories are like that. Some endings aren't, none of the endings are... All the endings are bittersweet, I want to say. And I think it's, some of the best that you can get for... Because, again, you are... Again, I keep saying this. Everyone's trying to live their best life, and everyone has to sometimes give up a little bit of something. Technically, there's several endings to the game where you actually leave the station. But you can just be like, no, I'm going to stay. And, oftentimes that means you say goodbye to some of your friends that you made along the way. Because you've made that choice. They're going to seek their fortune elsewhere, but... Me, as the character I played, I felt like I was actually building something for myself here on this station. Planned obsolescence and everything. When you start the game, you basically wake up in a junkyard, and the junkyard dude's there you can have this empty shipping container that has literally nothing in it. I won't charge your rent or anything. But later, you kind of, shit happens between you and him, and he doesn't kick you out, but he doesn't want you around anymore. And during the game, you can find basically an abandoned housing unit that if you spend time fixing it up, you can move in there. And, guess what? There's a fucking stray cat who likes to hang out, too, that you can feed. And when you feed it, it's all sometimes you can pet him, sometimes you can't. You cannot control the cat. I'm like, sick.
Sounds about right. By the way, I heard allegedly the trophy list for strays out there. To get the platinum trophy, you will have to meow 100 times to get all the trophies.
I'm excited about this. I'm going to plat the fuck out of this.
Meow.
Yeah. But, there's a place you can go. There's a bar you can go to. At first, when you first show up, you can just you're just a patron there. You can have a few drinks, but because you become known there, at one point someone starts to start shit, and the fucking bartender's all yeah, get on the fuck out of here, and backs you up because you're one of the regulars, and then offers you some work. And through that, you actually become a pretty integral part. They even build you a kitchen where you can cook some sick mushrooms, yo. And, everyone finds a little bit of better peace with that, and you become a staple of that bar. So basically, you have a new home, you have a job with people who care for you. You can make you can make your friends and stuff. You can hang out with them, and I'm just yeah, that's cool. And if you decide, and this is the thing I love right now, if you decide not to actually leave the station, the game just keeps going on. You can just keep doing your everyday life. The game
that's a nice little point.
Yeah, no, I do this every once in a while. I'll boot up Citizen Sleeper and just do a couple cycles worth of stuff because I got everything down to a science where I can basically maintain myself indefinitely. It is doable. I have to make some runs because at one point because there's a there's a green space on the station. I have to run over there sometimes and grow some shrooms and stuff. But then on other days I'll go work at the bar. Other days I'll go help my friend up in the eye who has a mechanics bay in there, and I'll help him out. And it's just like, the thing I love about it is just that I feel like I literally came to this station with nothing, and with my own two hands and my own actions, I built something for myself, and it means something. And that was my phone beeping at me. And that's like, out of all the simulators, I think that's a very hard emotion to catch. Of like, there's a lot of stories of nothing to something, but like, I don't want to say necessarily sometimes it feels vapid or shallow, but you won't necessarily have the emotional depth that you could.
The narrative of, nobody to hero or whatever, however the particular genre or whatever you're taking it is, it's not like you said, you don't necessarily want to say it's vapid, but it's a very incredibly common trope. It's a very common structure. Anything that is commonplace and is used a lot can become trite, cliched, or at the very least just very rote. Ironically, something about like breaking out of your routine and making something of yourself, if you keep doing that same trope over and over again, that can become routine in of itself, right?
Right.
Whereas I think what you're getting at is the fact that this game, Citizen Sleeper, lets you assume a routine is actually kind of unique.
Yeah, I think that's the best way, because
kind of like work in that circumstance.
Because you're not trying to become a hero or like anyone important. You're just trying to become somebody. You're trying to discover your own identity. Because I'm probably gonna die to this dude, but I want to see if I can actually refight this guy.
Can we do the fights?
Yeah, okay, I can redo boss fights.
Into the couple. I mean, it makes sense because you have died and reset, so.
This is the first boss, by the way. His name is Frike. He has 3 arms!
There's a lot of body horror bullshit going on with these bosses.
Why'd you guys come down here? Assholes!
Because fuck you.
They're not supposed to be here.
Nice head, dude.
God damn it. I have enough problems. Alright, they're dead. Alright, let me pop this shield. Oops. But, again, like, the story of nothing to something is not becoming like someone great or someone amazing. It's just becoming a normal dude. And I think that's the strength of it. You just want a place to stay, you want a job, you want friends, you want a place to belong.
And it reminds me of why I think, though obviously I've watched you play it for an extended period, but I purchased it, but I've never played it myself. But it reminds me of why I think Stardew Valley is so popular and was kind of unique, because that's not exactly, but that's kind of what Stardew Valley is about, right? Like, it's written from the perspective of, hey, I'm gonna quit my soul-sucking cube farm job and, like, return to nature and just, like, enter into a new place, right? And build my new environment. And yes, you attack slimes with a sword and whatever, but fundamentally Stardew Valley is about like making a new life for yourself in this environment. And it sounds like what, obviously vastly different genres, but Citizen Sleeper's kind of the same way. You have to make a living for yourself, and like you said, if you don't leave the station, your daily grind doesn't end, because that's how life works.
Yep.
And obviously, stories need to end and all that stuff. Like, there is a very important structure to narratives and so on, but like, games don't have to be like that.
Yeah.
So that is pretty interesting.
Damn.
It's already on my wish list, so I will check it out sometime.
Oh,
I'm trying not to. I did not go ham during the Steam Summer Sale, so I am trying not to go ham on PC games, especially because I've talked about this off and on in various other places. I am not necessarily in the short term, but I am committed to PC upgrades sometime this year for realsies. Like,
I've been having issues with performance. If I'm gonna keep using this computer at all, I 100% need more RAM because it was a single stick when I got it, and I'm getting a little juiced out on my memories. So I need more juice. I got somebody on the line who can give me a. They recently upgraded their own parts. A member of the community is willing to gift me their old GPU, which is not cutting edge or anything, but is a standalone GPU. I'm running off like integrated Intel chipset in this thing. GPUs were expensive. But to do that, I would need to replace the power supply unit, which I may or may not be able to do with my particular model of computer. If anybody's wondering why that is, it is a Dell, and I checked my packing list, and I only got the 290 watt power unit. So I would require more juice if I can find it, which may or may not be easier. Oh, well, good luck with your internet exploding, Architect. But yeah, so like, obviously we are not. We just talked about this. We're not at a dearth of things to stream, but there are games I want to get into and get more tech and hopefully like more RAM and more graphics processing.
Oh shit, you came back!
Like production uploading a little bit easier. But there are also series that I am still like I do want to do a nudie upgrades for. I've mentioned this before. Like at some point, I want to do a Halo co-op retrospective with Lucky. Like
yes.
I want to stream all the Halo games with Lucky and me doing co-op. We may or may not invite some of the other morons with us because some of the games have like 4-man co-op. And we do actually a couple of the vetted members of the Secret Cabal I know are big Halo guys, so we could expand. But like I said, I've always been a big fan of Halo, and the games have a lot of really great moments and stuff. And I would love to share that with Lucky. And the Master Chief Collection is really cool. But unfortunately, again, with my shitty one stick of 8 GB RAM, and not having a GPU, I do not currently have the juice to run some of the like remastered games.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The second one was the 360, right? Yeah, I think that's what Halo 3 ODST and Halo 3 and Reach were on. I think that was still the 360. Those are the 3 games that I can for sure play. Halo 4, not so good. We don't like that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely sure that whatever the enhanced graphics and cutscenes of like the Halo 1 and 2 anniversary go for, my machine will not do. So that's not, obviously there's no time limit on that. Like I said, we're not hurting for games, but that is something I've always wanted to do, and I want to get like committed to like getting the upgrades because I've had my computer like between 2 and 3 years. It's shown its age a little, and so I think I need to like I'm like I need to commit to budgeting out, and either this machine needs upgraded or I need to figure out a new machine. So I will be working on that along with all the other nonsense I've got to work on. And obviously, your continued support for other bullshit is great for that. Making sure we can do all the stuff and get all the things and have a fun time together with content. You love content. But yeah, so like I said, I do have Citizen Sleeper on my wish list, and Steam does still email me when things go on sale.
Yeah, I'm excited because Citizen Sleeper is they say they have a free DLC lineup of updates. So first one's supposed to be coming out this month, and I'm excited for it. I just adore their timeline of just wake up, sleeper. I love their trailer so much. God, I watched it so many times.
By the way, YouTube sent me our little updated, monthly newsletter update we do. Hey, y'all, you're crazy. You watched 284,000.6 minutes of us last month.
Jesus.
Let me divide that by 28,000 by 60.
What is that item over there?
That's over 4,000 hours. It's a lot of hours.
Thank you.
But yeah, at that point, with us speaking of hours, we've crossed 3. Whoa. Like I said, I don't have anything further to throw out, so
No, I think I'm good.
we can scoodle on out of here then, and we can leave Lucky to his bouses.
I'm glad I was able to at least beat that other one. I still need to beat Ixion, though, which is going to be a bitch. I think I've only gotten him down to 1 bar so far. Actually, how many deaths have I had? That's a good question. I know they keep that stat somewhere. Is it here? No, I think it's back at my ship. Where is that thing, anyway? It's over here.
Only 20%. Sorry, speaking of Steam emails, I got an email that Boyfriend Dungeon is on sale, but only for 20%. Still like $16, and I'm like, eh. Like I said, right now I'm not trying to add to my backlog of games, so a sale has to be pretty good to get me.
Yeah, no, I bought a couple games on... I only bought 3 games on some of it, and unfortunately, I think only Citizen Sleeper is actually the winner for me. Because I bought... because I bought Citizen Sleeper, which wasn't, like, super off, but I was all like, it's a sale, and I wanted this fucking game. Yeah. And I also picked up War of the Overworld because it reminded me of Dungeon Keeper, which I really loved. And then I picked up Darkwood, which is, you know, another one of them top-down survival, you know, craft survival horror games. And I was all like, I like those kind of games. I've tried them like all, and I'm just like War of the Overworld and Darkwood. I'm just like, eh.
Hey, it happens.
Especially with how pretentious Darkwood is. Literally, it says, this is a challenging game. There will be no hand-holding. I'm all like, okay, you didn't actually have to tell me that. This kind of just pisses me off slightly.
But we gotta let you know, there's no hand-holding.
And I'm just like,
It's a manly game for men who don't like hand-holding and tips and tutorials. Tutorials. Alright, anyway, there's only like 4 people watching. We need to get the fuck out of here. We're going home.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Alright, the outro, it goes a little something like this. If you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. Now that we're down to, like, according to YouTube anyway, 4 concurrent viewers. We have 4 likes, so we're good. But if you watch this later, give it a like. If you have any comments, you can leave in the comment section down below or join our Discord. Check out our link in the video description or on our channel page for that. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. As I said away, I am... Well, I mean, I'm saying, Axe, this game told Lucky there would be no hand-holding. It sounded like the game was intended to be, like, direct about being try-hood.
Yes. Let's see.
So, you know, that's a different thing about just being like, hey.
Alright, I have died 16 times in this game, by the way. Yay.
16 times.
And I played 10 hours, so I die... let's see here.
Roughly a couple times an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, join our Discord, sub. I am slamming away. One of the many projects I am working on is the 40K fail portrayal. It's an extensive PowerPoint. It's over 20 pages now, 20 slides. We're going to have some fun whenever that comes around, but that's it.
Axe, if you played the game, you know exactly the screen I'm talking about, where they actually say this is supposed to be a challenging game and all that crazy stuff. I don't know what you're trying to fight about.
But he likes the game.
Ah.
All right, I'm not gonna say anything about the gameplay stuff, but like you can have a good game and then still be an asshole.
Yeah.
That's actually true of a lot of things in general. You can have a good creative product and still be an asshole, unfortunately. Anyway, we're not here to do that. We're doing the outro. We're going home. There's 2 people watching.
Yeah.
They're all getting out of here ahead of me. Anyway, give sub. Also click bell. Bell good. Join channel membership. Give access to emotes and membership badges. We'll probably be doing like maybe a little poll or something for what emotes to add because we got some slots thanks to gifting emotes and stuff. And also support us on Patreon, like I said earlier. Really helps us out. Keeps the funding up. Lets us figure out, you know, stuff like hardware and software and whatnot. And that's everything. This has been What's Up. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to tune in Monday for Great Ace Attorney. Unless my internet explodes again.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm glad my knock on wood carried. I don't know if it went through on Discord, but it was captured on my audio end.